Can you see if the audio is good?
Let me open it. Testing, 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 testing.
The bad life.
There's a bit of an echo.
Not the echo. Come
Oh,
on.
you have an echo?
Yeah, there's
Echo,
a bit
are
of
you
echo.
playing Overwatch?
Who knows? Maybe later.
Jesus.
Let's see.
It's called uh, the oh, okay, probably on the other flash drive. Be right back.
Yeah, actually, I have no clue how to fix that echo.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, Show OBS. Maybe I can figure something out.
All right. Change windows.
Testing, 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 testing. Wait, now it's good.
What
All right,
happened?
back
What
another time.
changed?
Did you mute one of the audio tracks?
No, it's been muted before we started.
Real quick, who went to Union Avenue?
Not me.
Not me either.
Probably
Dang.
you, Jersey King, and Jeremiah, and King.
No, not Jeremiah. I know King did.
Uh,
Mm.
where'd
Darn.
Jeremiah go then?
I'm not sure. I know I went to a different middle school and high school, or I might be crazy. I don't remember. It's been a very long time ago.
Understandable.
Point is, I was gonna ask if any of you guys had Mr. McCosmo, which is a mute point because y'all didn't go.
Yeah.
Do y'all know who Chuck Conroy is?
Yes.
Do you know what he looks like?
That's a good question.
So essentially, Mr. McCosmo was he looked like he kind of looked like Chuck Conroy, and he was like one of the really cool teachers.
This is
Played games, did all that. For the last like week of school, he just kept bringing in movies for the class to watch because there was no work to do.
this is how you find out he actually is just Chuck Conroy.
Yeah, man, that's what I'm thinking in the back of my head. When I think about what he sounded like, I can only think of Chuck Conroy's voice, and it's like, there's no way. It's literally impossible. But yeah, that came to mind because I have this old like Nook Study flash drive. It's like a white and green one. When I graduated from middle school, he gave that to me, and it has a bunch of like games on it that he copied from Steam.
Oh, it's sick.
Like, yeah, it's like, dang, I've had this flash drive since middle school. Jesus Christ.
Damn.
I mean, hey man, thank you, Mr. McCosmo. Taught me how to emulate.
He means buy legally, of course.
Yeah,
Of
legally
course, of
purchasing.
course, of
Legally
course.
purchasing.
Yes, he
Yeah.
taught me how to legally purchase all of the virtual games I could ever want.
Yes, because they are all available
Legally.
I certainly, yep,
legally.
they sure are.
We love upstanding members of society.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, before I legally, I mean, even though I certainly legally purchased them before, I've actually probably come to own all of the things I've illegally purchased through that measure at some point, thinking back. So it's not well, it is legally purchased.
We love legally purchasing. I also hate that the stream is
Of
flickering
course.
again.
What else would we do?
Let me- Alright,
I
there
mean,
we go.
anything else would just be wrong.
So true. The flickering stopped going away again. I hate this. I hate this so much. Anyways, let's let's get started.
All right, and I'll just like do OBS stuff and move files while we do this, because I don't have to look.
I was gonna suggest we take turns reading posts, but sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I may not be in a situation where I can read things out loud like that.
This man just won't tell us he can't read. I get it. I understand.
Okay, hold on. That was a low blow. That was unnecessary. Flag on the play. I think she needs to go.
Not me getting yellow carded already.
Nah, bro, that was a foul. You know that was a foul.
Oh wait, I hear the echo actually now. Someone listening? Hold on.
What happened?
I can hear myself echoing now. Oh, it's through Isaiah's mic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Alright. Well, not much that can be done. Let's start with the first post.
Get kicked from chat.
There's not much that can be done.
Alright, I don't hear the echo anymore.
It sends you to gulag. Oh, so
There's
this
not much
is.
that can be done.
I'm gonna use this as kind of a makeup post for missing Metopia for family stuff, which is unexpected.
Mm.
Yeah.
I gotta get up and run one more time. I'll be right back.
Alright. Okay. Am I the asshole for firing the babysitter because she brought her dog to my house? This happened this past weekend. My male 33 years old and wife female 33 years old and I have a 6-month-old kid. My wife and I planned a date night and we hired a babysitter we've used half a dozen times. This babysitter, female 20-year-old, is a college student that lives in our neighborhood and came recommended by some friends that had kids. She came over to our house. We told her our son's scheduled and headed out. We were gonna go out for dinner, then meet up with friends for drinks. We have 2 cameras on our house that we can access remotely to check in on our son. One is over his bed and the other is over his play area, the living room. The babysitter knows about both cameras, so it isn't like we were spying on her. My wife gets a notification that there is motion in the play area. She pulls it up to check in. She sees a dog sniffing our son. We're both like, just sniff, sniff.
I'm just imagining like the fucking image. I'm
Alright.
imagining the image is just pulling up to the house or like pulling up the app on your phone and just like looking through a camera thinking, oh, okay, I'm about to see my son and like the babysitter, and it's just a dog going.
We don't own any dogs and have no plans to ever own any dogs. We try calling, no answer, so we rush home. We go inside and the babysitter is holding our son and there's a golden retriever just hanging out. Everyone is calm and fine. The babysitter seems shocked we're already home. I asked the babysitter why is there a dog in our house. She says it's her golden retriever and decided to bring it today. The babysitter assures us that the dog is baby and kid friendly and is sweet and safe. I don't want my son around dogs at such a young age, even if they are sweet and safe. It turns into a snack for the dog.
Crunch.
Not cry. Maybe more like a chew, because baby's bones aren't like. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we're getting into the dark topics with the turbo boost. Shit.
I'm getting more and more angry. This was not something she was transparent about, and if we knew the dog was gonna be there, I would have never okayed it. I just firmly tell her to grab her dog and please leave. I informed her we won't be using her in the future and pay her half her rate we had agreed upon, mostly since we used her less than half the time we were going to be out. She asked for the full amount, and I told her no, you put my kid in danger and you should leave. She says she did nothing wrong, but I don't see it that way. So, was I the asshole?
I mean, actually, I say no. I think being there for half the amount of time is reasonable to pay her half. And if you're, it's your baby. It is a baby. And if you want them to be around a certain environment until they're older, that makes perfect sense. You're trying to be careful, and that makes perfect sense. If you wasn't transparent about what would be around your baby, I mean, and he would be an a hole if he didn't pay her at all. But I
Yeah.
mean, he could have been a little less aggressive, but no, it's a pretty reasonable thing to be upset about. He wasn't transparent about what would be around a baby.
So I feel like I agree on the point of him not being the complete asshole. I just feel like the getting like really amped up and
Yeah, yeah,
angry.
definitely
Yeah.
could have like had less attitude about it.
Yeah.
But I still think that she should have been really. It's a baby. Should have been really transparent about what was going on.
Yeah.
I agree, actually.
It's like
So,
how it's a baby. You don't know if it has a dog allergy yet. Like those are things you just don't know yet. And when you like check for those kind of things, would want the parents around so they could act immediately. Like what if you brought that dog in, and then the baby was just like had an attack or something because they don't know that kind of thing yet, so they can't prepare for it. So they walk in, dog barks, baby is just like done.
The dog walks in, bark, the baby hits the.
there's
Yeah,
also the
literally.
chance of
You
like
just like
potential
and again,
allergies.
that's what I'm talking about. It could be
Yeah.
a mild allergy, a small allergy, or it could be some kind of like deathly. Your body can't accept like being around a dog. You don't know those kind of things yet because it's a baby. So you have to. That's perfectly reasonable. You're trying to be careful. And again, when you're checking for those kind of things, you have their parents around so they can act and know this for the future, and not a well. I'm just gonna bring my dog around this baby just because I think that's a fun thing to do. I mean, it still could have been dangerous, and I understand why the parents are upset about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially because she wasn't transparent about it. She could have easily just said, "Oh, I was thinking about bringing a dog over, introduce the baby to the dog or something," and then they could have just known that, and then it's like, "Yep, absolutely understood." But they didn't do that.
Yeah.
I think because it's a baby, you need to have that like 100% transparency, careful.
I feel like we pretty much brought up that point about we were not sure if the baby's allergic yet or not.
Yeah,
One
yeah.
of the things I go ahead.
No. Go ahead. I was just agreeing with you.
Okay. I was the one thing I'm curious about is like if he thought of that, why he was so angry about the dog, because like
Yeah.
from the wording of it, it's just I don't want my son
Okay.
around any dogs at such a young
Yeah.
age, even if
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
sweet and safe. So I'm not
So
sure if he is worried about a potential allergy or he himself has like
yeah. I
bad
guess on.
experiences with a dog. That's
I guess
kind of like one thing I'm not sure about.
in that sense, I guess I made assumptions. Like I don't know if that's exactly what they're thinking, but I would it would be understandable based on what they said.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
at such a young age would imply like something of them being young is the problem. So it would be something reasonable to assume, but not it's not certain.
fair.
So OP is not the asshole.
Yeah, nah.
All right. You got the D&D ad.
Hasbro are the assholes though. We already know
So
that
true.
scenario.
We already know
That's
that
an
one.
open and shut
We
case.
can skip that one.
Your
All right.
Honor, Hasbro death.
Please. Okay. Am I the asshole for moving out when my parents asked me to pay rent? I, 23, am the oldest of
Oh,
five siblings. Oh,
uh, I thought we were just gonna like give like a jury just from the title, and then like have a clear yes or no at the end. Never mind.
okay. No, no, no. We can do that.
That's what we were doing.
I feel like all of these may just sound like assholes, like from the explanation until we go
I mean,
deeper
not
into it.
not. I mean, not all of them. I would on the outset. I say no. You left the nest.
Yeah,
That's it. You left the nest.
excuse me.
Uh,
All right. Uh,
Just on the outset, you that means you just left the nest.
yeah,
Whether or not it was a on good terms or not is different. But that no, you left the nest. That just happens.
mm,
all right. I, 23, am the oldest of five siblings, and I'm a full-time student. I also have a part-time job in my field, but when I complete my after degree, my employer will take me on full-time. I make enough from part-time to pay for school and put money aside. Oh, who joined in?
Jerry.
Hi, Jeremiah. You came just at the beginning of this. Am I the asshole? I Where was I? I make enough from part-time pay for school and put money aside. My siblings range from 20 to 10. Both of our parents work full time. I have taken on a lot of responsibilities for keeping everything running in the house. I do grocery shopping, the laundry, as well as making suppers, and doing meal prep so everyone has lunches ready to take every day. I also get
Yep.
all my siblings to do their part with regards to house chores. For example, my youngest brother is responsible for feeding and walking the dogs. So I make sure that there's dog food in the storage and put bags on the leash. My dad works very long hours and my mom works a 9 to 5 at a hard job. Over Christmas, I had the chance to buy a PS5 for myself, so I did. The rest of my family is still using a shared PS4. I keep mine in my room and I do not share. My parents started fielding complaints from my oldest brother about how I made so much money and I don't share things I buy for myself. Totally true. So they had a talk with me where they brought this up. I pointed out how much of the household work I did, and they said it wasn't fair that that they're supposed to not that I was earning this much money without contributing. They told me how much they expected from me.
What? Well, okay. I guess keep silence until the story's over.
Yeah. I went I went to my room and did the math. If I gave them what they wanted, I would have about 800 a month left over. If I dropped a couple classes next semester, I could go to almost full-time hours with my employer, and it would only be one more year until I graduated with my second degree. But I could afford my own place and I would have way more free time and disposable income. I packed up and moved out. Everything I owned fit in my car. I stayed in an Airbnb for 2 weeks until I could get everything sorted with an apartment, school, and work. It was great. I'm not gonna lie, I may have gone a little overboard on Tinder. I couldn't have women over to my parents' house. I, sure.
Huh.
Yeah.
I just moved into my own apartment. I'm staying part time until I finish this semester. I will work full time over the summer and go to a lighter class load slash higher work hours in the fall. My oldest brother has been tasked by my parents to do everything I used to do. His chores have been split up with the other three. They are all pissed at me for moving out. My parents are upset that I left them in the lurch. My siblings are mad now that they all have more chores. My oldest brother is especially salty because he has no free time to see his girlfriend and she isn't allowed in the house when my parents aren't home. I'm enjoying my free time. I bought myself a plant from IKEA. I feel bad for screwing them all over, but it didn't make sense for me to do all the work and pay rent on top. Edit. All the chores were split fairly. I wasn't doing any more than anyone else. I thought it was fair until I was asked to out in money as well.
Yeah. Nah. Definitely not. He's certainly not. I mean, he he was doing his share. He actively paid for things like pet food and made sure all of his younger siblings were straight. I mean, he was the ideal like big brother.
He
Yeah,
was pretty
But
much,
then
yeah.
but then the second oldest is popping a fit because he saved up and afforded himself a PS5. No, hardest to get a PS5.
yeah, right?
So he's working hard. He's doing his school stuff. He afforded himself a PS5, and they have a shared family PS4. He's like, all right, I'm just gonna get this for me on Christmas, and then this is mine. And then he getting fast for not con. I mean, I think it's reasonable to just move out.
Honestly,
I
yeah.
don't
Especially
like
because it was
I couldn't
cheaper for him
fault
to
him
move
more.
out.
Like the fact that he's working and contributing to the household along with his parent. I don't know. I think that's just ideal big like
Yes.
I don't know. I just can't see where he's wrong here.
Yeah,
They just seem pretty unappreciated. So now that he's gone, I don't know what else they want. I mean, I think he took the correct choice out here, and also is not an a-hole.
Yeah, I also think not the asshole.
Yo, four
so
siblings, he looks out after all of them day in day out, and then he's told he's not. I don't know. I'd be kind of mad.
Yeah,
And he's just outright told you're not contributing enough. You need to give us money, even though you already pay for stuff already.
yeah, I feel like that bit makes sense for him to move out. My only question is like, how much were they asking for rent? Like,
And
was it?
I guess he doesn't want to put his financial info like just straight up on the internet. Like, oh, I
yeah,
make this much, and this is how much that. Like, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Like I get that, but it's just like part of me feels like I wanted to know how much they were asking out of him,
yeah,
and
I get
then,
that. But I
but
think he used
overall,
I think he used that kind of like percentage in a way. The way he explained it is that if he did give him what they wanted, he'd have to basically drastically change up how early he can get out of college.
yeah. Which that's another layer of fucked up. You're willing to like stunt your child's like academic, like how they're currently going academically to get them to contribute more.
Yeah, like essentially, he's about to be done with college, but if he does what they're asking of him, which is also still unreasonable, he'd have to spend another year in college.
uh, oh yeah, then yeah, no, I would. Yeah, I pretty much try to explain that. If I got no response, and yeah, I would just move out. Like at that point,
Yeah,
you're sapping more out of me than I should
like
be
he's
giving
like
up.
like he's literally done with college and he's about to start working full time in his career, and then they're suggesting he basically spends another year in college, still keep working part time just cause.
Like I feel like if they had waited until he was like done with college and kind of went, okay, well, now you're working full time and everything, we like you could maybe cover this fully and like just like kind of splitting things up because I know like because by the sound of it, five kids, like the dad's working all around the clock, mom's working 9 to 5. I know that's not easy financially,
Yeah,
especially in like
that
modern
crap,
day. That's
like
not.
yeah, that crap is not easy.
It's not easy. But by the sound of it, he was already contributing like to food in the house, dog food. He was like making dinners most of the time. He was pretty much like the third parent of the house from the way he's describing it. And of course, like with these, some people are gonna put in their own like kind of bias. You know, you can't expect these to be unbiased. Someone who's been through this shit is sending it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But with the way he's describing it, if we're taking it at face value, he was pretty much doing like the third parent work. Parents were out. He was pretty much the ideal older brother taking over the house, making sure everything's good, making sure everyone's doing their chores and everything. Everything was divvied out
Respect.
evenly. And then the second oldest piped
It's
up
like you got a
and
PS5. No, it's not fair.
pretty much that's what it
Mom said
sounds
it's
like.
my turn on the PlayStation.
Like he saved up, got it himself. Like like, were they expecting presents that he bought, or like were they expecting him to just share everything he has?
Everyone
Like
else was supposed to get a PS5.
that's the thing I don't get because
I'm assuming that he probably also got them gifts for Christmas, and this is just what he got himself.
I mean, yeah, yeah, yeah. But
yeah,
we can't say for certain because it's
Yeah,
not there. But we can assume based on what he said.
yeah. So
Like he just got himself the big guns though. That's it.
yeah,
like he got himself one present. It's like if
And now the second oldest is super salty because he's now in his position. The person he just got to leave.
like you pretty much mentioned, oh yeah, you're not pulling your weight. All right, bye. And now you realize how much weight he was pulling, so you can't be mad that he left. You have to put your fucking head down because you realize, oh shit, he was doing something. I'm the idiot here.
you don't know what you have until it's gone.
Pretty much, that's what it sounds like. The
You're not
result is.
contributing
So I
enough.
don't
You're not pulling your weight. All right, leaves. now,
like if
now homeboy stuck.
if OP feels bad for screwing them all over,
I mean, yeah, that
then
definitely
like
family. It's definitely reasonable to feel bad about this
yeah,
situation because he didn't exactly leave on good terms. But again, as I said before, the story was even said, it did. He just had to leave the nest there
yeah, like
because
it makes sense.
it just would have royally screwed up his like future plans. Like he is done with college. He is going to work full time with his career. I don't think he should have to spend another whole year in college just cause.
Yeah, that like I don't know. I feel like if OP's still in this, like finish up college. If you have some extra money on you and you really feel bad, you can go ahead and probably like I don't know, throw 100 your parents' way. But all around, you've pretty much you were pretty much the third parent in the house from what you're describing. I can't say you're the asshole here. Someone
No,
just didn't see
yeah,
what you were doing until you ended
yeah.
up leaving
Third,
out the front door, and then they
third
realized, oh shit,
parent,
we're
but
fucked.
yeah, third parent, but you weren't doing enough. Didn't even fathom the idea that I can just live alone.
All
Yeah,
right.
I don't know. Getting told that you're not contributing enough after like you're doing all of this. I get raising four kids because you're not raising him. He's moving through in life.
Yeah,
He is helping raise your kids and his
like
sibling.
he's literally being the fucking third parent of the house. However,
Like you,
like parent imagines their
like
firstborn when they get to a certain point. So like, what's the
raising
problem
four
here?
kids. Like raising four kids, a pain. It is difficult. They work hard and they work long, but like you can't take that out of him, man. He's working too hard.
So OP is not the asshole.
Definitely
Yeah,
not.
no,
No.
not in my
It's
eyes.
I guess it's really reasonable to feel bad just leaving the nest on bad what you call it,
Yeah, like bad terms.
yeah, on bad terms. Like it's definitely reasonable to feel like deep down bad about it. That's family, but definitely not an a-hole here.
Yeah. All right. Next post. Am I the ass? This is a very short one.
Yes.
Am I the asshole for putting blue dye in my shampoo without letting my family know?
Oh, yours?
No,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
it's yours.
I read it wrong. I read it fast. Like, I thought he just put it in like the family's hair shampoo. I was like,
No,
yeah,
no, no,
Yeah.
no.
yeah.
Yeah.
If it's your own,
Yeah,
well,
no,
Yeah.
mm,
So so
wait,
I
no.
21.
wait.
Uh,
Yeah. I kind of gotta hear more context. I can't really say yes or no. If it's like really similar looking, or it's a common thing for the family to use each other's stuff, then yeah. If not, yeah, I need more context. I can't say yes or no.
So I 21 have blue hair, and I was told by a hairdresser that color sticks better if you put a little bit of hair dye in your shampoo. This was all good until my 12-year-old sister decided to swipe and use my shampoo. She is blonde, and the result isn't pretty. My mom is mad at me for putting dye in my shampoo and not telling you one. This is my shampoo that I bought and I had placed it in the shower that only I use. And my sister took it and used it in another shower. She has done this before with other items, and my mom also thinks I did this as a way to teach her not to steal my stuff. I didn't. So yeah, the whole family is mad. Should I have told them about me putting hair dye into my shampoo? Edit. I'm not a victim of theft. I'm well aware of that.
Yeah, no, you're not the asshole.
Yeah, no.
Literally, just
What?
fucking
So
learn to
so
keep your
so
hands in your
basically,
fucking
you're
own
living in a
place.
house. You're living in a house. Not only do you have your own bathroom, you have your own shower with your own bought products in there just for you, and you just so happen to have a sibling that swipes your stuff and uses it, even though you tell them not to.
Yeah, no, fuck them, fuck them kids.
I mean, it's reasonable for the mom. It's reasonable for the mom to think that this is a lesson that you were trying to teach them. But that's just all on them.
Yeah.
So you have blue hair. It's like, oh yeah, I want to like get my hair dyed blue better. I'll just do this to my stuff that I bought in my bathroom, and then it's somehow hurt. Yeah, no.
Yeah. If anything, to some extent, I'd blame the mom a little for enabling it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't sound like the mom.
should have definitely nipped that in the bud.
Doesn't
Yeah.
sound like the mom did anything to try to prevent that shit.
Yeah, nah, but she's mad at this outcome that
Could have been
nah,
prevented.
that could have easily been prevented.
I'm gonna be honest. If I ever did some shit like this and my parents got mad at me, I would have looked them dead in their eyes and said, "You know what insert younger brother's name here does on a daily basis, and you want to blame me? Okay, I'll just do it again.
Want to see me do it again?
Want to see me do it again?
When
Like
they want to
they
see
could get
you use
like
shampoo and use it without your consent.
like
When
they
Also,
they could get
Jeremiah,
mad
you
at
are
me, but yo,
muted. You are
Yeah.
muted, Jeremiah. If you are trying to talk, you are muted.
I'm not trying to talk.
Oh,
You
Uh,
know, on purpose.
oh, oh! But you just kept leaving and answering. I thought you like something was wrong.
yeah, I got a
Yeah,
little confused there.
maybe there's something wrong, but it's like, not I'm trying to talk, trying to do something else.
Oh,
Gotcha.
but
all right.
yeah, fuck them kids. I would have done it again. Literally just replace the shampoo with hair dye, all hair dye.
Replace it with hair remover. Let me
Yes.
stop. Let me stop.
No. 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 Keep it going. Keep cooking. Let her cook. Let her cook.
I don't think this is what we should be cooking.
That motherfucker won't do didn't use that shampoo when he got nothing on his head. He going
Hey man,
he gonna need floor polisher.
listen. I bet you look good in a hat.
Please.
Oh, Megamind looking ass. Yo, you learned your lesson, huh?
Stop it.
Mega mind look.
All right. OP is not the asshole.
Fuck them kids.
Put hair remover in the shampoo because you know they're gonna steal it.
All right. Am I the
Bruh.
ass? Did you get to this? Okay. Yes.
The speed, the efficiency.
Did not let me speak.
No, you're wrong. Yes, you're wrong.
Alright. Am I the asshole for being a bitch towards my boyfriend after he ruined my day? My son is 12 and we're very close. We spend one day a month together. The day is always the same. We wake up slightly later than usual, have a pancake breakfast, hang out at the rink for a couple hours, head to the arcade to try claw machines, and eat dinner at this Indian restaurant before heading home and watching a movie with dessert. It's important to us, and we always do everything I mentioned. We've been doing this since he was 5. I always let him and my boyfriend know the day a week prior. On the morning of the day, my boyfriend decided to clean up the kitchen and threw out the pancake mix. Then he forgot to fill up the gas in my car, so we had to go to a gas station, but it took forever because of traffic.
Oh,
Then we finally got to the rink. He called me about 20 times to ask where something is or to discuss something about his daughter. We had to leave quickly so that the restaurant wouldn't close, so we skipped the arcade. When we were halfway through eating, my boyfriend called and said that he hurt himself. We packed up the food and rushed home, only to find out he had hit his ankle against something, but he was otherwise okay. He then refused to let us watch the movie because he was watching something and he started eating the food we bought. My son called him a dick before stomping up to his room. I was just in shock. My boyfriend's never done this before, and I could really not tell if he was being oblivious or if he was doing this on purpose. Boyfriend was all like, "You're just gonna let that slide?" I rolled my eyes at him before saying, "Enjoy the food." Then I went to our room. He followed me after, asking what my problem was. I told him that he knows how important this day is, and he got pissed and said, "Is that what this is all about? I'm important too, you know." I kind of snapped and told him that he isn't as important as my son, and he ruined our day by acting like a little child. He went quiet and said that I'm being a bitch, then left. He won't answer any of my calls, but texted my son saying that he expects an apology. It's 5 a.m. and I haven't been able to sleep. Am I the asshole here? Here, please be honest. I need to know if I was really being a bitch and if I overreacted or something. Edit. We're in our 30s, but he's a couple years older. His daughter is 20 and has her own mom. We've been together for 4 years and we also go on date nights every 2 or so weeks. But I don't have a boyfriend only day like I do with my son. Also, don't worry, my son will not be apologizing, and I've reassured him that he has nothing to be sorry for.
Yeah,
hey,
no.
I feel like a jerk for jumping the gun here. So like, this man
Man.
got rotten.
Mans was expecting some like hood rat shit of like,
Yo,
oh yeah,
this
didn't
man's
read
got
my
a
fucking mind.
this man's got a rotten head. It's like, oh, I only see my son once a month. It's like, oh, dang, I'm already horrible now.
Yeah.
The only
Sprouts
yo,
clown nose and clown wig.
see, it's like At first, I was thinking, okay, so you see your kid once a month. On the morning of the day, decide to clean the kitchen, throw out the pancake mix. I thought, okay, maybe it was bad. Okay, okay.
It's like, oh, what if he was, what if it's like, I don't know, he was just cleaning and it was just like, oh, this is expired, and he just
Yeah,
like forgot to,
Like,
he's got up early in the morning, he forgot the day. I
yeah.
like a
So like
series of
that,
bad coincidences.
yeah.
like
So
yeah,
that,
that could have been a series of bad coincidences.
yeah. So that bit, I was like, okay, you know what? Okay, that
That
that's a
sucks,
mistake.
but that sucks, but it's a
It's a possible mistake.
reasonable mistake. I
Yeah.
could see it happening. It's like he gets
Then
up. It's like, oh, I know I gotta throw some stuff away. Cleans the kitchen, sees something expired, just chucks it in the garbage without thinking or something.
yeah, he forgot to fill up the gas in the car. Uh,
I feel like that just happens.
yeah, yeah, that bit just happens. I can firmly say that. Like sometimes you think, okay, I have enough, or
It's like,
like you're not thinking of who
or
else is gonna use the
like
same
yeah,
car. So
or the night before you're like, oh well, I'll just go in the morning and hit it.
yeah,
And
you're
then
you're
like,
really tired, you're drained.
like those two things could be like easy if you like forgot this day, but things after he was easily reminded.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like those first two. It's like okay, you know what? I It be a bitter thing, but all around,
Like
all
these
right,
are
it's
things that
fine.
could be mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, uh, then moving on to the third bit where he was calling about 20 times, discuss something about his daughter. His daughter's 20. What is there to talk? I'm confused about that.
On top of that, she has her own mom, so it's like if there's anything to discuss, shouldn't
Yeah,
it be with her mom?
Yeah.
yeah. So that bit, I don't
Yeah,
know.
no. If there was a problem with his daughter who has her own, that's definitely a call her mom about it.
Yeah, that's call her, not me. Like that's uh leave quickly. Uh, so we skipped the arcade halfway through
Yeah,
eating. He said he hurt himself. That bit.
Oh,
Now it just now no
Yeah.
come on, you're just being a fucking child. Like you hit your ankle. Do you know how many times I have bashed my fucking elbow into a corner of a room and shook it off and moved up? Grow the fuck, you are 30 years old, motherfucker.
Nigga, I fell down the stairs before this happened.
Like, right? And he made it.
I
You
got
don't
a
hear
pile
him
of
like
yo, I got
crying.
a
What the?
yo,
You're
I got
30
a
years old,
pile
bro.
of I got a big like little I got a big rectangle thing made of bricks in front of the fireplace near the TV, and every time I walk near it, I almost 60% of the time stub my toe on the bricks, and I don't be calling nobody.
Like, why do you have to call someone about that? Like, you couldn't look at it and go, okay, that hurt, but it's just a little pain. I'm fine. No, you what? 30, 34, 35 years old, and you calling your girlfriend about the fact that you bumped your ankle?
The real
No.
thing that ties it all together for me is when she talks about how important the day is. His immediate response is, "Well, I'm important too." And to me, that kind of makes me
Yeah.
feel like this is less
It was all
coincidental,
important.
but
Like
like
yeah,
This is
it was all coordinated.
the moment he said something like that, it means it was all intended.
yeah. That was
And
just
not
like
to mention that they have date nights like 2 times a week or something like that, and she sees her son once a month, so 12 times in a year.
Just absolute clown activity.
with these. It's just that was yeah, nah. Like
Ah,
OP's not the asshole. I'm gonna have to say like the dick who didn't realize that hanging out with her child, her actual fucking kid, once a month and doing all of this is like something they both look forward to.
especially since he was 5. I don't know what their condition is to where they have to be separated, and I don't want to pry about that because
Right.
life. But they make it a big day every time it happens. Like it's a big thing. They've done it for years.
Yeah.
Why are you trying to get been with her for 4 years? So you've at least gone through like 48
48.
of these days,
Like
and
once
why are you trying to ruin this one?
not only that, but once every like 1 or 2 weeks, they go out on a date. So how low does your ego have to be that you're competing with her son for her attention when he shows up once a month?
Also,
He
you're
is
30, and
12
this,
years old,
like I was gonna
and
say,
you are
also you're
30
30,
fucking
and this
four.
is a preteen.
You are 30 fucking four competing with a 12-year-old for a woman's attention. Do you not like sit down and think or say this shit out loud?
It's like that
Like
meme of Homelander beefing with the baby.
like this is literally what that is. Like what the fuck are you on, man? Like you need to fucking like you need to like think about this shit. Like actually put your fucking head down.
Like baby versus radioactive bomb. Bomb versus radioactive baby.
Oh my god.
Like that this yeah, nah, she ain't the asshole here. That has to go to her husband because there is
Yeah.
no the husband boyfriend because I don't what the
I
fuck
hope they
man.
don't get married.
I
Hope
really
not.
hope so.
Yeah,
Like
nah,
he has shown that his ego
He has
is
shown
as
his true
fragile
self.
as a fucking like
Like, yo, man,
I,
his shadow popped out for that one day. He has shown his true self.
Right.
get out, get out. You need to go. I don't care. I don't care what he does in the bedroom. It ain't worth it.
Alright, not the asshole.
What's the name of this thread? Am I the asshole for being a what was the one we read?
Am
The
I
scroll
the
up real quick?
asshole for being a bitch towards my boyfriend after he ruined my day? Now we wait for Josie to respond.
I
I
see.
see. He
What did he say?
just said, I
Yes,
see.
Oh, what is he in chat?
Yeah, he's in
yeah.
chat.
All right.
Alright.
No,
Am I the asshole for pointing out she's too young for this?
no.
I need to hear this. I need to hear exactly what they're talking about
Let's
first.
hope we don't have another repeat situation.
Okay.
Alright. My ex husband, 42-year-old male, and I, 42-year-old female, got divorced 4 years ago. We have a son, 9-year-old male, and a daughter, 7-year-old female, together. We are still good friends and co parents. My ex started dating this girl about a year ago. He introduced her to our kids about a month ago, and they moved in together. My kids usually described her as young and nice, so I assume she must be in her 30s. Let's call her Katie. A few days ago, I got a call from someone. She introduced herself as Katie and said my son is sick and she's been trying to contact my ex, but he's not answering. He puts his phone on silent when he is in an important meeting. She was clearly nervous. She told me she doesn't know what to do and asked if I could go there. I left work and went to their home. She opened the door and I was very surprised because she looked so young. She was about 19. She told me that my son has a very high fever and she has no idea what to do and she's going to be late for college. I told her not to worry and go. I'll take care of my son. She came back a few hours later with some canned soup and fruits. She was clearly nervous, and other than nervously asking me how my son is doing, barely said anything else. She was clearly a very nice girl, but I couldn't get over how young she is, and I just couldn't stop myself. And told her she is too young to be dating someone twice her age who has two kids. She got very defensive and said that she knows she looks younger, but she's 23, and who she dates is none of my business. She then basically threw me out by telling me that my son's fever is almost gone, and my ex has called and said that he'll be home in about 5 minutes, so I left. Ex just called me that night and told me that I'm an asshole and my comment made his girlfriend upset, was just mentioning the fact.
Oh, the husband's a pedo. What?
Oh, okay. Hold on. Hold on.
He's getting there.
Oh,
Homie is
hold on.
42. Homie is 42.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay. So first, right? First thing. Would this be the same comment if the roles were reversed?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yes. What?
Like,
Of course. What? I'm sorry, but
like
these
Gen,
judgments are gender neutral.
right?
Wait, how old is she?
The
23.
yeah,
23.
23, and the
Looks
husband is
19.
42.
Okay, that's not pedophilia. That's just like wanting a young woman.
Nah,
Now,
that's
I
not
also wouldn't do it.
That's
The,
yeah.
the definition of pedophilia is like you want a child. That's not a child.
I think it is a little
Now,
messed up. Do agree it's not pedophilia. It is still very messed
Yeah,
up.
legally no. Legally no.
what you
Who
mean
cares about
legally? No,
proof?
factually, it's also
It's
still
not even
no.
legal. They're both like full adults though. That's the thing.
I,
They chose to do this.
No,
They're
no,
both
I'm not
consulting.
saying that
Anymore.
they can't. I'm just saying, in my opinion, it's a little messed up.
This guy's
and
some freak. Hang him.
Okay,
okay, yeah,
okay.
Hey yo.
yeah, ban this dude. Get him out.
We have a
Like they
lot of differing opinions here.
like there's
Plants got some spare guillotines, right?
bro. Like yeah, there's a gap between the ages, but as long as they're both like okay with it, I don't see the issue. Like you pretty much live your life the way you want to.
They're both
So
legal adults. I don't give a fuck what they do.
yeah, it's like there's their choice if they want to do that, right? As for the comment, I I
Mhm.
I mean,
I
as
feel
far
like
as she was
that bit
concerned, like as far as she was concerned before knowing her age, she looked a teenager.
yeah, yeah.
Dude,
See
people can
that
look
made
young.
sense. But when she said she was 23, I feel like the first thing that should have came up was okay, she's a full on adult, like going to college and everything. I feel like you're not. This is the scenario where I feel like opinions should be kept to yourself. This was one of those opinions where you see something that doesn't fit the norm, but at the same time, you have to realize that someone's living their life the way they want to live their life. You can't change somebody else's viewpoint on the way they live their life. So, kind of
She
throwing
was
your
trying
opinion
to.
out like that.
I
Yeah,
mean,
like
there's
just
nothing
throwing
wrong
that.
with
She
being
wasn't trying to,
concerned.
but there's nothing wrong with being concerned, but there it's one of those things where it's like it it's fucking hard for me to explain because I can't come up with the fucking words to explain it. But
Paper, skin, happy.
sometimes you need to just kind of walk. Just keep the opinion to yourself and just kind of move.
I don't know. Opinions can't hurt people.
Opinions can't hurt people, but they can sure as hell rile them up. Like we know damn well opinions could drive some hard shit to happen. No one gets into a fight because they didn't like an opinion. Oh wait, you know what I mean? Like whether we want to admit it or not, emotions run high with a lot of things, and we don't know how much of a sore spot that was prior. Because like we're because like you and Wasilla did earlier, right? You heard about the whole age gap immediately. You were on them. What if that happened multiple times before? What if it was a sensitive spot for that person? It's those things that I feel like need to be considered when giving like an opinion like that. And I understand the concern, but at the same time, I feel like this was one of those scenarios where you just had to go, I'm gonna hold that to myself. Maybe bring it up at a later time, or just kind of keep it. That's my opinion about this.
I think she gotta get out of college first.
And that's your opinion about it.
Yeah.
But to her, maybe a lot of people said that, and she got sick of it. It's one of those things.
Jersey said his opinion is he doesn't care.
Yo, spitting actual facts right there. Yo, these
I'll just
two
say,
grown ass adults talking
you're
about
I
stuff
don't
with
think like I definitely don't think she was being an asshole, but
Yeah, that's what I
I'm
was
just
gonna
throwing out
say.
that maybe this was a sore spot for her, so I can't really call either side the asshole in this. It's just like this was running into the soft spot. You weren't aware of it. So I don't think there's an asshole in this. This is just
Yeah.
miscommunication kind of going into the deep end.
I
That's my
get
opinion.
again. I think she definitely stated that out of concern because no one wants to see like someone. Again, she assumed she was 19. No one wants to see a 19-year-old be locked into a relationship with someone like
42-year-old.
yeah. But again, as she stated, she's 23. What she does is no one's business. So at that point, you just gotta let it go.
Yeah.
She did, is
Uh,
what it looks like.
yeah, she did let it go. So for that, I do not think she is the asshole.
Yeah, this
I
is a
don't, because I
scenario
think this
of
husband got to get hung.
All right, this one's a little split.
No, it's not. We both say
no,
no for
Oh,
different
okay.
reasons.
no, no. We all don't. We all agree that there are no assholes in this.
Yes,
All right.
yes, yes. There's only people that belong on death.
We're gonna move on from that one.
Yeah, we're gonna move on for
We're
this
gonna
one.
move on from that one.
All right. Am I the asshole for uninviting my dad to my wedding because he refuses to pay anything towards
Yes,
it unless it's vegan?
yes, yes. I think we can skip this one. I don't even like yes.
Wait. What? How? Wait. So what? So I'm assuming we're talking about like the after party of like, yeah, they're
Hold
paying
on,
for
wait,
like
wait.
food and everything, or is it just like the entire wedding needs to be like vegetable? What the fuck are we doing?
No, no,
That's the
I
first
think
thing
we
that
gotta
came
read
to
this one.
mind. I
This one
just
looks this one looks like a rabbit hole.
the fucking like the
Yes.
fucking
No,
mantle
no,
is
I'm
just
passing the
a
judgment hell on
fucking.
this one.
Oh wait, Jersey wants me to reread the title. Am I the asshole for uninviting my dad to my wedding because he refuses to pay anything towards it unless it is vegan?
So
Absolutely not, bro. I get fucking like double cheeseburgers every fucking day with McDonald's, bro.
All right, hold on, hold on.
Like, I don't
Let's
know,
read.
I have
title
a
for
real animal over that.
But just based off the title,
I mean,
but just based
bro,
off the title, yes.
Okay, let's go through the post. I am 30. Since I was a child, he has always said he would pay for my wedding. About 5 years ago, he started a relationship with a lady with quite extreme views. She is a vegan, which is fine, but she's very judgmental to how I live. She, excuse me, she doesn't agree with cancer scans like smear tests, mammograms, etc., because vegans don't get cancer. When I had my daughter, she said I should be feeding her almond milk. She once came to my house for dinner, and I cooked the chicken for me and my family and a nut roast for my father and her. She later dug a hole in my garden to give the chicken bones a proper funeral because she was so heartbroken to see us eating its blood and flesh. I wish I was joking. She
pussy
also.
cannot be this good. Holy fucking shit. Can we
Okay,
fucking
wait.
this
No,
bitch
no,
is
no.
dumb as hell.
Hold on. She
Why
has.
is so fucking this is fucking hooker Jesus Christ.
She has also accused me of trying to steal her father's house. I have never met her father. I have never set foot in her father's house. All I know is he died recently. I had communicated some cost of living worries to my dad, not asking for money, and she ran with it and said I was trying to manipulate her into giving me her inheritance. I do not want her inheritance. Long story short, my father will only pay for my wedding if it's vegan. That this not only includes food, but shoes, alcohol, what other people wear, examples are leather, and anything else you can think of. I might have been okay with vegan food, but I am not okay with policing what others wear or food that they may bring or for their babies, even formula, etc. This has upset me. It's not really about the money. We are having a very small and cheap do anyway. The In the run, it's up to the wedding. This woman has also been extremely rude to my mother. On reflection, I have now
Uh-uh.
decided it's best all around they do not object.
Okay,
she she's now
that'll be it.
telling my dad's side of the family that it's just about the money, and I am bitter because I didn't get her dad's house. Why on earth would I be given her dad's house? and and that my dad isn't paying for my wedding. But to be honest, it's not really about the money. I just don't want to be controlled over what I can and can't do on my wedding day. I'm sick of her judgment and his now that she's gotten her claws into him. And I just think that it'll be better for me, my siblings, and my mother if they do not come. I also don't want to be lectured over milk, dairy, honey, palm oil, you name it, on my wedding day, and I don't want to put my guests through that either.
So first thing,
And we
right?
get this nigga a hooker, Jesus fucking Christ.
Burn the witch. Like that's my first. Like really, I see. Here's the thing, right?
And okay, here's the thing. You don't uninvite the dad, you uninvite the lady.
But
No, but like
I'm
that's the
assuming they're
thing.
coming out as a pair. It's either both or nothing.
Yeah. It is literally.
I mean,
I'm
yeah,
assuming
yes.
a package
Yeah,
deal
no, no,
since she was
no,
able to manipulate this
no. It's
nigga
a
so
test.
far.
It's a no, no. See, it's a test. You uninvite her, and if he decides that she's more important than all of the family that's being there, you uninvite him from life.
Bro's been whipped so far. I don't think I want my father in chains coming to my fucking wedding. Let me tell you that right now. Like, here's the thing, right? If you're vegan, that's whatever. As long as you address the fact not everyone's going to live that lifestyle. You do that, hey, you're cool. You're fine. But
You
it's
live
that
with
group of them that tries to like press this like idea on other people that do not want it.
Also, she's trying to like manhandle her day, her way. Yo,
Yeah.
nah.
Like, so
To
you
get burned at the
basically it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So like, let's no, just no, you're not. I can't see it. Like, it's I my fucking frustration building
yeah,
up.
my answer has certainly changed. Not extreme as the first time, but
I think the OP's reasoning is fair, and her dad's very controlling, regardless of the girlfriend's being the real asshole. I can definitely see the tone of the wedding getting sour just with his and his girlfriend's presence. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
and you wouldn't want
Completely
that for your
understand.
day.
You would not want that for your dad. Absolutely not. So no, you are not the asshole. Your father needs to get his head out of her ass and actually breathe some air.
I don't know
I
how she was like spinning this
I need
tale that she wants by inheritance.
I think there's
I need to see
nothing
this
wrong
woman.
with them being
Jerry,
vegan
what did you say?
as long as they keep it as like a personal ideology.
You should like sneak like blood into their food or something. I don't know.
All
What is
right.
wrong with?
Okay, hold on,
Okay,
No,
hold
no,
on,
no,
hold
no,
on,
no,
what
no,
hold
is
on.
no.
wrong with you, my guy?
We're gonna need to pull that
You
one
just
back.
normally do that.
I need to sneak like some non-vegan stuff into their food
Isaiah's on demon time today.
and
Bro,
just tell them
bro,
afterwards.
bro is the kind of dude to
You're no
fry
longer
some
vegan
beef,
for as
put it
long as
in
you live.
tofu, and give it to
Yes,
somebody.
it's like you're no longer vegan for as long as you live. You can never tell me you live a vegan lifestyle ever again.
Hey, that's not how veganism works. First of all, second of all,
All right, go on.
And tell it to that chicken's like I don't know chest you just ate or something.
all right. So you know there's like I'm not sure if you know about the Buddhist belief or not, but there's a special place in hell for people who do that. Fun fact.
Oh, uh,
Do what?
sneak.
Give vegans meat.
Yeah, I'm not a Buddhist. I don't care. Yo, Buddha can suck.
Oh
Hey,
my.
yo, chill with that. I'm gonna stop you right there, because I do not need to be affiliated with
Yo,
this,
Buddha didn't die for our sins.
bro,
What do I
bro,
care?
Isaiah when he
chill,
gets reincarnated into a
chill.
terrible cycle of life.
He gets reincarnated as a fucking moon moth.
Look, I don't know what the fuck out there, but all I'm saying right now is his views do not speak for me. Whatever the fuck he's saying right now, I do not stand by. Whatever watch he's saying, I don't stand by. Now what I do stand by.
I'd love to see how they react. And
All
you know,
right,
I
I'm not saying this because I would just do this to anybody. They're kind of deserving.
all right. Let's move on to the next post before.
Oh wait, I need to say this. I need to say this. What the fuck does this girl look like? I need to see what she looks like for her to have this much control.
Bro,
Yeah, no, she has to be like
she is either a master manipulator or she just got it like that. Like my boy is whipped
Yes,
completely.
yes.
Okay.
The answer is yes. Move on.
No, no. These are funny.
Yes.
Am I the asshole for not making an effort to see all my kids?
Yes.
Let's
Already starting
Okay,
with
look.
that.
Unless you have like 7 kids, yes. Or they're
You're
like, or they're like literally all across the country. Like if one
you
is
are.
like if one is in like Australia, I'm like that one ain't getting visited. I'm sorry.
I can do a Zoom call.
Yeah, I can do a
maybe
Zoom call.
maybe like fly out for one of his birthdays to actually surprise him. But
Dude,
besides that,
you're gonna get shot down by one of the like giant webs the spiders shoot to trap down bugs. You ain't gonna take that chance.
Am
You really
I
want to
the
be on one of those
asshole
sites?
for not making an effort to see all my kids? To begin with, I love all three of my children. I was a shit father when they were young, and I didn't really get much better as we aged. I worked out of town, and I never married any of their mothers. I did always pay child support, and I tried my best to give them meaningful gifts and experiences when they were growing up. I took them to the Calgary Stampede. I took them camping. I took an interest in their extracurricular activities. I went to their hockey, and I don't know that word, so I'm skipping it. Games. I made
Ringette?
sure
Hey,
Ringet. Ringet.
Ringette. Yeah,
What is that? You know,
it's a sport.
you think I know
We
sports?
know it's a sport. We don't know what sport it is.
You want to go into detail what it is?
I mean,
We'll
yeah.
look it up later. Anyways, I made sure I was at their high school graduations, and I set money aside for university. The one that didn't go got an apprenticeship in my trade and used the money to buy a welding rig. Me
Ringette
when I'm
is
blind.
for girls.
What?
What? Oh, there's
Hockey
a
for
kid. Uh,
What did you say, man?
I see him all the time. We have beers, and I will stop by his house to see my grandchildren. His sisters are night and day. I let them know if I'm in the city and leave it up to them. My oldest occasionally agrees to meet up with me and then spends a couple hours berating me and shitting on me. For a long time, I put up with it. Now I tend to pay the bill and leave. The youngest will invite me to her home, and I will have dinner with her family. Recently, my oldest found out from her brother that I had been in town for a few weeks and I hadn't made an effort to see her. I was stuck in town getting medical shit done, and I really didn't need her stressing me out. Her mom knows what is going on with me and also didn't tell her I was in town. My oldest is pissed because I saw the other two. I just don't need to be yelled at for the same thing for 2 hours.
dang, dang.
Okay.
Now I have to retract all over again.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
that's why you can't cast judgment like that until you know the full
I got
scenario,
watch
bro.
the
What
way
are
you
we,
Oh,
post
I mean,
Twitter?
I'm gonna catch somebody, but as of now, no.
Mm, this guy. He's the type of guy to jump on a bagwagon and then realize, oh wait, I was wrong.
And I'll jump
Now
off,
I'll do it again.
and then jump on another one until I'm right.
We know
Anyway,
we.
yeah, nah, no. Why does he have to deal with that in his age? But man is trying. The fact that he has different kids to three different mothers is like, and he is still trying and being. He saved up money for their university.
Yeah.
I'm
Saved up
sorry,
money for
like
the
he
university, was
for
there for
all
each of their
three,
graduations,
including
took them
for
all
yo,
Calgary
for
Stampede, took them all
all
camping.
three, for all of that, for all three of them, and the oldest one has like the room to be yelling and barking and just complain. I'm sorry, no.
Like, yeah, that.
It's like oh he's just in town getting medical stuff done, and he doesn't want to like worry them, so he's not saying anything. And he especially doesn't want to tell the oldest one he's in town because he doesn't have what to like add the stress on top of doing all this medical stuff. Like,
Yeah,
like,
it's.
yeah,
I.
no.
Yeah, no. Like,
I mean, I don't know. And even it's reasonable that he doesn't want to air any of this to his other kids because then that'll create friction between them.
Yeah.
yeah.
Feels
Like
like,
with
oh
this.
well, I don't want to see the oldest one because all he does is da 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 da. Well, there, instant friction. He probably doesn't want.
Mm, I'd say for this, it's just. Yeah, no. It's.
Crappy situation. So yeah, nah, no.
He's pretty much done everything he could, like as a father of three different children, three different parents. He's like going
And
back
all
and
what
forth, doing
paid all the
everything,
child support
university.
is on good standing with all of the mothers, which usually isn't the case.
Like one didn't go to university, went to an apprenticeship, and he said, "You know what? Fine, you can use the money to buy a welding rig. That's fine. Go after apprenticeship for a job you want." And it's like, okay, you're being like a supportive father, may not be in the best of
There's,
situations, but
and then there's
you're
this
doing what you
one that
got,
just
and then
hates your guts every time you see
Oh,
them.
there goes your
for
And
thing.
you
almost
don't want to deal with seeing them this
yeah,
time because you have a bunch of medical stuff going on and you don't need the stress. Don't.
yeah, it's like you
But you
like
can't
there.
air that. But the mother of that kid knows that and doesn't want to like and has is like he just doesn't want to
Yeah,
tell anyone because she doesn't want him to go through that for no reason.
so they both know this child is like resentful as hell, and
For no
they
reason.
both want to keep it
I can't
away.
see
There
that.
has like Yeah, I
Well,
can't
we
say you're
don't
the
know if
asshole
it's
for
for
this.
no reason, but
Yeah,
we do.
but yeah, for at least from we're assuming this is all the context for our
Yeah, we'll
judgments here.
assume. Yeah,
Yeah, but
So yeah, for assumingly no reason, maybe they had maybe there was something when they were younger, or as far as we've been told, he's been there, he's trying.
he's doing what he can. He's made mistakes in his past, but instead of running, he's owning up to it. So far in my book, he's better than 90% of the cases I hear where it's
Therefore,
like
he saved
a
up
father
money for
has side
three
families and
kids'
all that.
universities.
Like
yeah,
he's making that effort to reach out the hand and basically be a father to all three of them instead
Hold
of
up,
just disappearing on two, only paying support
if
and not
one
interacting.
hold
He's
up,
actively trying.
if the one kid that's cool is if the one if one of them went to a trade school essentially or an apprenticeship, doesn't that mean he paid for the angry one's college?
Yeah,
yeah. He
he
paid for.
saved up
So
every
he
university
Yeah,
of
paid.
all of them.
So he paid get a full pay for the angry one's university, and they still have room to. I mm,
Yep, yep.
yeah. That I
mm.
wish we had more context to at least understand what she was angry about. I feel like that would clear more things up.
But he still paid for your entire universe. In I
Well, I mean, yeah,
I
but
don't know.
there's probably some family issues that can't be absolved by paying for college.
I mean, did he kill his mother or something? Like
Who
I don't.
again, we'll never know. I mean, do we get more context?
I don't think we do. Asshole on general.
This is just the thread about vasectomies.
Yeah, so
Decent Disney dad for three kids. What was it? What was that saying?
Hold on, decent Disney dad for all three kids. Took them to do cool stuff and went to their events. No formative parenting actions. Uh,
I mean, I guess that could be considered something. Like, sure, he did a lot, but he wasn't like there.
yeah, I think affectionate has the right idea where it's like, yeah, there's blame to be thrown, but the child overall needs to, it kind of needs to let that go because that's just held resentment.
I guess.
let's see. Yeah, let's move on from this one.
Yeah. The verdict. No. Hobie is
Yeah,
trying. Hobie tried out of his mind.
I would
Like
also
he's
say no, but they should probably seek like family counseling or something.
I mean, if he wants, I mean, he's literally just like every yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
If he wants, I mean,
if it,
I personally think he's done more than enough. And it's just
he's
one bitter kid, and he doesn't want to deal with that. I mean,
yeah,
at this
pretty
point, they're like an adult,
yeah.
or they're in
yeah.
the middle of going through the college he paid for. I think, I think he's paid enough to not have to deal with that.
It's
This
pretty much
says
like
inconclusive,
trying to
not
make up.
mass judgment, which is also pretty fair.
For telling my colleague you'll lose
Yeah,
his job because his uncle is yes.
I well, you already read the title for me. I choked on some tea.
I
I'll
mean, I
just
don't
oh what?
just based off the title, I'm gonna say no, but I'll explain myself a little bit later after you get the full story.
It's kind of
I
given.
say yes.
His colleague is about to be an asshole. That kind of came out as a diss.
Mm.
Uh, I'm early 20-year-old female, and last year I started working at a major company. I entered this job through a scheme for disadvantaged young people. Despite this, the interview process was still incredibly tough, and I'm proud to have made it this far. When I'm not with my team, I hang out with the other girls I've met and befriended through that scheme. The nephew of the CEO started his role at our department a little later, and for whatever reason, has been joining us for girls' lunches, etc. He tries very hard to fit in and acts like he doesn't come from a place of insane privilege. He will literally pretend to be humble and downplay his family's wealth just to seem relatable, I guess. The others have been warming up to him, but honestly, I'm not buying his rather fake
Mm.
personality. The other day, I was sitting at the canteen with another coworker and he asked if he could join us. I didn't want that, but my coworker immediately said yes. Well, he was asking me lots of personal questions about my journey to the company, and I told him that the interview process was hard and mentally draining. He nodded and said that it's tough getting into this place, but his interviews were fine, even laughing and saying he came late to one because of a, a hangover. This made me mad, and I said, "Good for you." He thanked me and said that things always work out when you just chill out and stop taking things so seriously. This is when I said that we both know he's not nearly as competent as he believes, and he only got the job because his uncle is literally the CEO. My friend slash coworker gasped and looked at me like I'm crazy. The nephew shrugged and said, "I don't seem to like him." I told him that this wasn't a personal matter, so likes and dislikes are irrelevant. We didn't argue, but he got a little heated, asking me what I want him to do. Then he said I may view him as an overprivileged asshole, but I'm more or less the same, which makes no sense. So, I fully expected him to report me to HR, but to my surprise, he never did. In fact, he started following me on my social media accounts and messaging me at work more frequently. My coworker has relayed this incident to the other girls, and the consensus is that I'm a major asshole. They said that not only was I unnecessarily hostile and rude, they're also mad he started hanging out with them less. Not sure if this is a coincidence, but I've also been spending less time with them.
I mean, that was like you were making a lot of assumptions on him. Like, so
Yeah.
what if his family is like his uncle is CEO? What if you just don't know what he grew up like? What if the uncle was like, "I'm not doing you any favors"? That's it. Like
Yeah.
with that alone, he, he might have worked hard to get into the company too. You don't know that. And what if the whole law was hung over? What if that was a joke? It was a casual conversation. What if he was just joking around? You don't know that, and you just immediately blew up with something extremely personal. That you just held personal resentment towards him without knowing about anything about him, his personality, or who he was. All you know is who his family was, and you instantly had that bias.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Honestly,
nah,
like,
it's not fair to him.
yeah, and by the sound of it, it's not the fact that he was fake with it. It just sounded like he was pretty much out of his element. He was just trying to like branch out. He's trying to talk to his coworkers. He's trying to like pretty much he's just trying to talk to everyone. He's trying to be more inclusive in a workspace. And like the thing is I know what this is like. Like the job I'm currently working, like I pretty much managed to get in there because of my uncle. And like at first I thought this was gonna be like, oh yeah, he acts like a fool and all of it, and I like pretty much put him in his place by telling him, yo, you're only here because of this. Like don't push it. But instead it just sounds like you based an assumption off of him. You kept it there. You didn't actually give him a chance, give anything a chance by the sound of it. Like you didn't give him a chance to try and interact. It sounded like he was trying to be friendly with people. He was trying to be relatable, like you put it. I'm not sure if he was honest with it, but I'm assuming he was trying. He was trying to be friendly, and by the sound of it, he was actively making the attempt to be closer to everyone around him. He saw you were distant, so he was trying to be friends with you. And then, like, even after, he basically just said, I'm not gonna try to get you in trouble because you were like rude to me. That's what I'm just trying to be friends. Like this sounds like all around you just kind of put him on a bias, and from there just
Yeah, I think you just tried to strangle him
kept
with
him there.
bias. Like that's about it. Like he didn't even like he didn't seem to have that air in either his actions or anything that he was kind of spoiled rich person who couldn't lose his job.
Yeah,
He
and
Um,
then
was just trying to be casual.
I
and
can
then
kind
earlier
of
with the
see where
oh
she's
god
coming from though, because like as she mentions, in order for her to even be able to get this job, she had to attend like a really scheme she calls it, but like how'd she phrase it? Yeah, a scheme for disadvantaged young people with a very tough interview process.
Yeah,
yeah
but
So
at the same merit, how would she know what his interview process was like?
you didn't let me finish.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. My bad.
So to her, like I feel like for her, maybe she understands that her and at least the girl she talks to, it for them it was like very hard to get here, and she recognizes their struggles, and when she finds this dude who, it's known that he's related to the person who owns the company to some extent, and he's trying so hard to be relatable and to be like so chill about everything. It probably like infuriates her to some extent because everyone else had to bust their ass to get here, and when he makes it seem like it was no big deal, it feels easy to assume that he got here off of like nepotism or just being related to someone higher up. So
Like, I
basically
get that.
his actions don't kind of help with any implicit like assumption she might have had.
Yep, yep.
Mm.
Yeah, but at the same time, just in my mind, like I just picture being in an office room conversation, like he's just trying to start up something like simple, like, "Oh, how'd you get here?" If he did face any struggles or anything to like to a severe extent, I mean, would you just want to bring that up in a casual workplace conversation? Like, would you want to be the one to shift the mood and make it intense like that? I mean, I at least in my case, I sure wouldn't. I'd probably joke around now that I have been past that and I have it now. I'd probably joke around too, like, ah, it wasn't that bad. Knowing in the back of my mind, yo, I had to like tie my behind off.
yeah this
Like,
definitely
it
feels
just like it just feels like something that after it's over would like in just a casual conversation you would say something like it wasn't that bad just to like brush it off. Or in the back of your mind, it could have been the hardest thing you've been through.
Maybe she's not one for
Oh, yeah,
holding
exactly.
back.
Yeah. It's one of those things where,
Yeah.
well, maybe to her, trying to brush it off would be seen as, well, now, well, he faced none of the struggles I did. Impossible.
yeah I feel like in my eyes just from the way everything's phrased, like he tries very hard to fit in and acts like he doesn't come from a place of insane privilege. Would you prefer him to?
I mean,
Like this makes
Oh
me
wait,
feel
hold
like
on. To count that,
she.
because this part seems a little, or at least it gets me a little. Where they say that they argue, well, not argued, but they got heated, and she called him privileged asshole, and he said that he essentially said that that may be true, but that makes her the same, which would make no sense because she got here through a a program for here.
where does it say that?
We didn't argue, but he got a little heated and asking me what I want him to do. Then he said that I may view him as an overprivileged asshole, but I'm more or less the same, which makes no sense. Which doesn't, because she had to get here through a program for like poor people, essentially.
Yeah. So that bit, honestly, I don't know. That bit it makes no sense. I feel like that may have just been spur of the moment. He was
Yeah, I
pissed.
feel like that might be
I
for
don't
the
know where
moment.
his mind was at. But like,
Like that, like it's a complicated thing, but there are some people who would throw their struggles, uh, difficulties into feeling privileged enough to shove it into people's faces to say, "Hey, I worked harder."
I don't
kind
know.
of
It
kind of twisting that.
to me it feels like a soft confirmation of her previous statement of getting the job through his uncle, but that's just how I view the entire thing.
Yeah. That is definitely a way to prove it. But I feel like I don't know. I feel like she's just shoving, like trying to force down his throat how hard she worked for this job when that really wasn't prompted. Like, is that really anyone's business aside from her own? In that,
True.
especially in that situation, he's just trying to be friendly,
Yeah,
and
from this.
it just get hit over the head with, "Oh, you're just some privileged piece of trash."
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, like back to the point, he tries very hard to fit in and acts like he doesn't come from a place of insane privilege. He will literally pretend to be humble and downplay his family's wealth to seem relatable, I guess. That just seems like he was trying to be friendly. He's not actively bringing up, oh yeah, my family's like really wealthy or
Also,
like any of that. He's trying,
also,
it sounds like
sorry, sorry.
he's, yeah, it sounds like he's not trying to have that over his head because like is kind of expressed, or at least based off of what she's saying, she already had this guy pegged as a certain type of motherfucker from day one. So it sounds like he's trying to be relatable to try to make friends at his workplace. He's trying to work with his coworkers. He's trying to patch up, or at least like lack of a better term, be friendly.
Like,
And
yeah, I was
it's
gonna say
kind
like
of
that.
a block.
Yeah, it sounds like that statement itself just comes from a place of extreme bias.
Probably.
Like, oh, he's trying to downplay how wealthy he is. I get, like, again, you don't know what his family is like.
Like, his uncle's rich, but what if his uncle just never gave his family anything? What if his dad was pretty much just working like 9 to 5 like anybody else and helping him? And the kid knew his uncle was in this work. He said, "I want to have that job in that field." Oh, uncle owns the company. Oh, okay, and
I
just
mean,
kind of came. What if he
it's like
had to go through all that?
we understand that the lady comes from the trenches, based
Yeah,
on the program she had to like apply for. But what if he was just barely above that? Something like middle class, and he just went through the normal routes and didn't have to apply for those kind of things. Like what if he had the money to apply for those kind of things, but that doesn't mean that he's rich
it just feels a little bit.
or extremely privileged.
It just feels a little bit like she's using like her struggles to try to not downplay, but just look down at him because of his relation to his uncle. Like she's already outright throwing out nepotism. Frame one. She's never confirmed. She doesn't know what he lives like. Extreme
Like
wealth.
based
I don't
like
think it's
based
ever
on
said that he lives with his uncle. If
like
anything,
I was
like
gonna say,
it's
like
his uncle.
based on what we've been told, we've like been given nothing about who he is or how he lives. It's just he works here. And he doesn't act any kind of specific way except try to be friendly.
Just aside from that soft confirmation, we never get like anything else about him completely agreeing with or denying that statement, which kind of makes this even more harder to judge.
Like, yeah, and on the soft confirmation, it feels like, because I feel like that's something he could throw out. He threw out because he was heated, kind of. Because I feel like that is like a big thing to say. That essentially is like putting down his own self worth and saying, "Yeah, you're only here because family." Like, I don't know. I feel that's something worth saying when you're heated.
Yeah,
And
Well, not so much worth saying as something that could come out when you're heated.
yeah.
uh, for the whole last question of am I the asshole for giving unprompted opinions, that just falls to my point before about the 42-year-old and the 23-year-old. It's like it's widespread knowledge that he's related to the CEO. CEO is his uncle. Like I said before, there might be something we don't know about him pretty much having to work through that. Like you come in off of relations.
Like
I'm
he could've-
imagining frame one, everyone's looking down on you. Oh, you didn't do the work to get here, kid. You're just here because your uncle, because your
exactly.
daddy.
He could have
And
been
it's
dealing
like,
with that the entire time at the company, and he's just trying to be friendly. And then someone, instead of talking behind his back about it, someone just slapped that in his face. Well, then, yeah, I'm gonna be pretty pissed too. Like, do you think that you're somehow magically the first person to put that in his face his whole life? Like, impossible.
it's like part of me definitely feels like there's a bit we're missing. Like it could just potentially be something he deals with on a daily basis.
Like, oh yeah, I was just gonna say, homie has got to be dealing with that on a daily. Ain't no way.
Because I already know, like in my workplace, again, not gonna say the name because fucking I don't know who's listening. But
Man, look, I'll say he works at Pornhub, chat. He works at Pornhub.
motherfucker. All right, but I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna ignore you. Fucking most hires are relations based. You know somebody, you get a word in, there you go.
You're not helping
There's
your
a
case
lot.
at all.
Yeah, shut up. Basically, there's a lot of back talk. There's a lot of talk going on behind closed doors. It's gonna happen no matter where you go.
Yeah,
Even
closed
get into
doors.
high school, please shut up. It basically no matter where you go, somebody's gonna be talking. It doesn't end in high school. It follows you throughout life. Everybody acts like that. He tries very hard to fit in. Maybe it's because he knows he fucking stands out like a sore thumb. Because when you go into a business, everyone needs to know, yo, I know this guy or I was related to this guy. Because that's just a matter of like, you need to make sure that's out there in case HR or something happens. But now that that's out there, that doesn't stop anybody from downplaying him or seeing him as lesser because he didn't have to go through trials. He didn't have to do all of it. Everyone could just pretty much call out nepotism and just downplay him. That could be potentially what he was dealing with. So unprompted opinions, it's same thing like I said last time. It's one of those things that I feel like shouldn't have been mentioned. It's an opinion, everyone has one, but sometimes you gotta know when to hold him, when to fold him. This definitely was a hold him moment. He was just trying. It sounds like he was just trying to be nice, and shit spilled over.
Yeah, it really does sound like just he was just like not even looking for them to surface. It just looked like he was trying to be friendly and starting easy point of conversation, and then got shot in the face for seemingly no reason.
And then the whole thing afterwards, where he just kind of didn't do anything about it. He didn't like cause a ruckus about it. He just went, all right, took it, and walked like that.
Yep.
That little bit of him, like just kind of walking away from that, makes me think this isn't the first time he's been hit with that in the face.
Also, and if he was like this stuck-up nepotism guy, you would have felt the effects of that immediately the next day. Like I don't know what to tell you. Like he could have gotten your job taken from you if it was really like, oh yeah, his uncle got him this job and he's like this stuck-up jerk. You could have lost your job doing that.
I don't know. Jersey was kind of spitting when he said that this is the classic enemies to lovers.
Yeah. God damn it. Fuck. Yeah, okay. He's not wrong, and I hate that.
Right?
He's not wrong, and I hate that. This really does sound like the beginning of a fucking novel. I hate it.
Because, like, usually, like, obviously, you report it to HR, but instead he starts following her on social media, trying to get close.
Someone just spat in my face. Damn, that's hot.
Yo, Fujima.
Right, moving on.
Yeah, let's move on.
But
Let's
even
move
though,
on.
wait, how should we know he followed her on social media? That could have been anyone.
No. What is it? Where is it? So I fully expected him to report me to HR, but to my surprise, he never did. In fact, he started following me on my social media accounts and messaging me at work more frequently. Yeah.
Never mind. Yes.
Yeah, this enemies to lovers. That is my verdict.
Yo, what is that?
This is just the picture.
That's just iCloud.
Yeah.
Adobe shit.
Am I the asshole for dropping my daughter off at a daycare early so her teacher could do her hair? I'm a
What?
newly. We're gonna get into it. Yo, we love stolen no premises.
Anyway, yeah, y'all gotta do this one without me. I'm getting cold.
Alright,
Alright.
excuse me.
I'll hold down for it.
Am I the asshole for dropping my daughter off at the daycare early so her teacher could do her hair? I'm a newly
Oh, I'll be able to
divorced
say yes.
Oh,
I'm a
damn.
newly divorced dad of a 3-year-old girl. I have her every other week. My daughter has very curly hair that my ex-wife used to take care of. And before we find out this dude is white, let me stop. Uh, now that I'm alone with her half the time, I have to figure it out. I try, but on my weeks, her hair was mostly a frizzy tangled mess. A teacher at my daughter's daycare has hair very similar to my daughter's, so I asked if she could help me with my daughter's hair. She said she could do my daughter's hair in the mornings if I dropped her off earlier. Drop off starts at 8, but I usually drop her off at 8:45. But her teacher says if I drop her off by 8:20, she'll be able to take care of her hair. She gave me a list of curly hair products to buy and what to bring to school. She also gave me some tips for washing and caring for it at home. I guess my daughter told my ex that her teacher does her hair, not me, and that she goes to a daycare early now because my ex called me and said and asked if I drop her off a half hour early every morning just so I could avoid doing her hair. She called me a bad parent for relying on a teacher to do my job and for messing up the morning routine so we could get to school early enough for the teacher to do her hair. We used to wake up, give her a bath, and I'd attempt to do her hair. We'd have breakfast, then go to school. But now we wake up, take a bath, and eat breakfast in the car. I thought I was doing right by making sure her hair is cared for on my weeks, but my ex feels very strongly about this, so I wanted to know if I was the asshole. Edit. I'm gonna add some things to the post that I'm seeing in the comments. I'm learning how to care for her hair. Her hair is healthier now than it was a few weeks ago. I have her hair down on the weekends because I still suck at styling it, but it still looks good. Her teacher really seems to enjoy doing her hair. I know she does other kids' hair, but it's not exactly a set thing. Lastly, my ex was not willing to teach me how to do her hair when we were married and is not willing to teach me after the divorce.
Yeah,
Well, similar to
no.
Isaiah, similar to Isaiah, where I said yes earlier, I got to retract my statement. I didn't have enough information.
You've completely replaced him. Awesome.
But like, yeah, I'm gonna say no. You actively made the attempt and you're learning. Like, you didn't know anything about this. Someone offered to help, you accepted the help, and maybe the ex doesn't know the full details or the daughter kind of didn't relay it properly. Because this is a 3-year-old. I'm assuming like she found out through the daughter. That's at least that's what he says.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming there was some miscommunication, like, oh yeah, daddy drops me off earlier now, so the teacher can do my hair. So he's like, why? Mm, maybe that's what caused this because he didn't know how to do it. He was actively trying to figure it out, couldn't figure it out. And by the sound of it, he's still there, like learning how to do hair from the teacher. So it's not like
Yeah.
he's avoiding it. He's actively trying to figure it out. And I think she's got the wrong idea. So I'm gonna have to say no. He's like, again, he's trying. Mans is trying.
Uh, to add to that, I do think the ex is an asshole to some extent because while they were together and had the kid, she had a chance to teach him and she refused. They're divorced and he still has to care for her and the hair and she still doesn't want to teach him. But now she's getting mad that someone else is helping him. It's kind of like, what do you want in this situation?
Yeah, like what do you want? Do you want her hair to just look like a mess constantly? Like I'm trying to figure out how to do my daughter's hair over here. You don't want to help, so I'm getting someone who does, and you're screaming at me, thinking I'm trying to avoid it. Bitch, I'm trying to learn. You wasn't teaching, so I found a teacher. Literally. So
This is
I don't know
this
what
is the
she's
secret
expecting.
like hypothetical plot where she's trying to get full custody.
She's trying to get full custody. It's just a Disney movie where the evil ex stepmom is like trying to take over the child's life.
So true.
Goes to school, the fucking teacher becomes a new mother happily ever after.
Uh, yeah, people are saying not the asshole.
Yeah,
Yeah, I also agree.
I can't see how he is.
Alright.
Also, I like his username.
Oh, wait, what was his using? Oh, curly daughter.
I just noticed the username as we were moving on. That's great.
All right, next one. Am I the asshole for not inviting my 8-year-old nephew to my birthday dinner?
No.
No kids allowed. We are getting fucked.
You have no idea how many times I heard that shit as a kid. Just that, yeah, no kids allowed. All right, so I guess you're gonna be gone for like 4.5 hours.
Bro, no, for real. My mom would be like, I don't know why, but people are getting like married at like 10 p.m. at night, and I'm like, yo, let me go. And she's like, nah, this isn't for kids. And I'm like, what are y'all doing?
It happens so fucking often.
Right. And I got to actually go to one a couple years back. And honestly, it was not as interesting as I expected it to be. But that's also because everyone is old now, so they just sit around.
Yeah, honestly, I think it's just the forbidden fruit concept where you're told no, you can't have it, and you want it more until you realize, oh, this shit wasn't worth it.
It was not. It makes me sad because I know they were definitely like throwing some good parties back then.
Yo, they were throwing some real shit to have everybody coming
Yeah,
out.
right. Because like I'd have like three aunties hit up the house waiting for my mom to get dressed, and then she pulls out, and they're like, "All right, let's go."
That
Oh
big old
man,
hole was getting turned the fuck up. You can tell.
right?
I know that.
They have like the fancy head wraps on, all the makeup.
Oh fuck.
Oh god. All right, let me read the post. I, 24 male, am throwing my own birthday dinner for my family and close friends this weekend. I'm moving out of state next week and wanted to hang out one last time with my entire family. However, I specifically told my one other sister, 35 female, that under no circumstances is she to bring my nephew, 8 male, to the party. Here's why. My girlfriend is on medication and has gained a considerable amount of weight due to it, and he has taken to calling her fatty every single chance he gets. This is something
Mm.
she's very insecure about, and I know it hurts her feelings. This kid doesn't know how to share. If there's a dish on the dining table he empties the entire bowl onto his plate and throws a tantrum if someone tries to take some off his plate. One time I was hanging out with him, my sister, and my mom, and I had exactly 5 leftover macaroons so that everyone could have at least one. He grabbed the box and ate them all completely, ignoring me when I told him he had to share. Almost every person in my family has tried to tell my sister that her son's behavior is not acceptable, and her only response now is, I can't help it. He doesn't listen, or he's just a kid, he'll grow out of it. So I told her, you either come along to the party or you don't come at all, but I do not want your kid here. Of course, this has led to her calling me immature, and I didn't care. However, it wasn't until my mom pointed out that I was a grown man excluding a kid from a party that I started feeling maybe I was overreacting. I still don't want him at the party. What do you think? Am I the asshole for excluding him? Also, sorry if there are any grammatical errors. English is not my first language. What do
Nah,
you think?
see, it's everyone's fault. They need to learn how to fucking beat their.
Please.
A simple ass whooping would have prevented all of this.
Oh, come on.
Matter of fact, yo, call that kid a fat fuck. Also, if you want to keep talking about it.
Okay, you see, I can get behind that one.
Like,
Oh, so I can mentally strong, but I can't physically. What the fuck, Basilo?
No, because like if
One
you,
heals, the other one doesn't.
I
their
mean,
mental scars can be ignored.
if he's
These
calling
physical ones can't.
if he's calling someone fat and you call him fat back, he'll probably understand that it hurts and he might feel
Oh,
embarrassed
fuck
and
you,
stop.
homie.
Bro,
No, the
he is
fuck he
8 years
ain't.
old. The most likely answer you're gonna get is, "I know what you are, but what am I?" Do you think that shit's actually gonna work?
Who knows?
I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to draw
Anyways,
a line in
we're,
the
we're
sand
not
there.
we're not
But
judging the kid now. We're judging OP. So
That's the fuck we are judging this dumbass kid. Oh fuck.
Wait, I just imagine.
Who the fuck is Wii? Nintendo Wii? That's my favorite system.
Jason said, "Fuck that."
so sad. All right, but in all honesty, just like, nah, bro. I can't see OP being the asshole. If anything, like the mom pointing out you're a grown man excluding a kid from a party. of
I
other adults.
I would have been like, hell yeah.
That would, yeah, literally just like, yeah, and like, here's the thing, right? In this scenario, he's gonna grow out of it. Why deal with him while he's doing it? That's my thing. You know your kid's like this. You know your kid acts like this. All of this, right? Like you know your kid does all this stuff. He's like not. He's just throwing all of it out. I can't help it. He doesn't listen. First of all, you're a fucking parent. One thing you should do is discipline your fucking kid. That's first. That's a pet peeve. Second, he's just a kid. He'll grow out of it. So why deal? So why directly light the fucking fire
Yeah. Because
that you know
every
is gonna
time they
die out?
say they'll go out of it, they usually never do. And then we get dudes like that post where he ruined the that 1 day a month thing.
Like, like seriously, like one thing I will say, no, you're not the asshole for excluding him. It's okay that you don't want him at a party because it's you literally going away. I'm assuming you already talked to the kid, you already like all of the
Yeah,
family
everyone's
already
already
knows.
tried.
Like, like, dude, it's 8 year old at a party. You're all going away. The last thing you need is the last memory of you and your family all in one place. And then this one fucking screaming child is running around the table and you have to hold back your fucking urge to trip him up or just hit him with the purple man treatment, grab him by the fucking collar, throw him down, and start stomping the little anyways. But point is, you're not the asshole here.
I am also
Is
gonna
it
say not the asshole.
is it childish? Probably. He's still not the asshole.
All right, let's move on. let's move on before we talk about more maiming of children.
Man, slaughter.
Am I the asshole for making my wife's friends think we're getting divorced? When
Yes. Oh wait, no, I'm Isaiah right now. No.
when my wife, 28 female, and I, 32 male, were still dating, we had this thing where we said before every anniversary we would divorce each other so we could get married again and go on another honeymoon. We've actually been doing this for the past 3 years. I have a reminder on my calendar named Prepare for Divorce 6 months before. Which is around when I start booking flights, thinking about taking time off, etc. Kind of silly, but yeah. A while back, we were out with a few of her friends. At some point in the night, I excused myself, but I left my phone on the table. I noticed after I got back that one of her friends, Kay, who's normally pretty okay with me since we play games together, was strangely cold to me, but I thought they just might have been tired. Long story short, the reminder just happened to pop up whilst I was away in K side. Then they started telling telling all of my wife's friends and met up with my wife to tell her the bad news. She was equal parts confused and embarrassed, but eventually cleared the misunderstanding up. I was slash am quite unhappy with Kay for violating my privacy and not trying to clarify the situation before blowing it up. My wife understands where I'm coming from, but says Kay was just trying to protect her. Kay thinks I'm an idiot for having something like that on my phone and is refusing to apologize. My wife's friends are kind of split. Am I the asshole?
What the fuck are you, bitch? Get off my fucking phone.
All right. So first
See,
thing,
no, see, no, no, no.
no,
See, this
you're
is why
not
we
the
need to.
asshole at
Okay,
all.
No, no,
yeah.
this is why we need to fucking beat our kids, bro. Because this
Wait,
shit will not happen.
What? Huh?
He
Huh?
beat-
Excuse sir, sir, no, no, no more of that. We're gonna stop. That post is.
That's the last one we can prevent all this shit, bro.
No. Anyways, I think
Hey,
OP
fucking
is not the asshole. K is an asshole. It was good intentions, but
Yeah, that's
yeah,
that's the kind of thing you like. You either leave it to them because they're in a relationship, or you try to clear it up. Like if you want to go down that
yeah.
route, if you really have to, it's like it's that same concept. It's none of your business. Even if you want to be like the one to go around to kind of prepare everybody, you have to realize
I
it's
mean,
not you're not involved in this.
even then, if she wanted to, like, the only person she should have had to quote unquote prepare would have been the wife. There was no reason for her to like tell the friends. Like, even you could prepare the wife. Maybe this is upcoming bad news. You don't want her to be completely blindsided and devastated. But then everything did get cleared up, and she still refused to apologize. She could have just said, "My bad, I shouldn't have snooped. What I did was wrong. Uh, I won't do it again," kind of thing. But to be steadfast and causing a problem, I don't know, man.
Yeah. This Yeah, the little bit afterwards too, like you said, of her just going, "Yeah, you're an idiot for having that as a notification in the first place. You're the bitch that blew this up for no actual reason. You gonna call me an idiot? Really? You had no idea what was going on, made a whole ass assumption, got everybody thinking this shit was there, only to realize you were wrong, and you can't even say, 'Yo, sorry about that. That was on me.'" Yeah, no, you're not. The OP isn't the asshole. Like the chick is.
No, OP might be dumb though. His phone definitely he definitely did play fucking basketball on his phone.
Uh, I think it's
I
just
mean, you
because
you can still see notifications even if your phone is
yeah,
locked.
because it's like one of those calendar reminder things. It just kind of shows up regardless of pin.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Damn, like I said before, this bitch need to get fucking beat. Mind her own goddamn business.
All right, we're not beating people.
Who the fuck is we?
You're not beating people.
Who the fuck is your folder?
We are not making Spy Family reference. Actually, no, you, Jeremiah, specifically, you're not making Spy Family reference.
Who the fuck is Jeremiah?
Anyways, yeah, not the asshole.
My name Jeremy.
Jeremiah. Am I the asshole for wanting my husband to say I am an author? My husband and I have been together for 15 years. We were talking about another Am I the Asshole post, the pilot. I gotta look for that one now. And it came to me mentioning that I would be proud when he introduced me or talked about me, that he says I'm a government employee, but also an author. To be clear, I'm 31, wrote 7 books, and 6 of them are published. I have 4 publishers in Canada. I sometimes do book fairs and presentations and have a check once a year for each book. Anyway, my husband says that I'm not an author because I do not do that for a living, and that he would be upset if someone said that they were and later on learned it was just a hobby. Am I wrong? Edit info. My books are fantasy genre for teenagers and young adults. I won 1 award and was nominated for 3 others. My 6 published books were published through accredited publishers. They also have 150 to 399 pages. They were published in French, and I get around 2,000 to 5,000 a year for them. Uh, I'm gonna say not the asshole, because I mean, even if it was just a hobby, she is published. She's a published author. What is wrong with wanting to acknowledge that?
True, true. I'd say not the asshole, but at the same time, it, hmm. So I'm gonna say not the asshole first and foremost, because even if it's a hobby, you still want to be addressed as such. You
Yeah,
have these accomplishments, you don't want them to be undermined. That's
she
completely
has
understandable.
passion and all that.
Yeah. The I feel like the main thing my brain kind of goes to is the fact that I feel like this may have been a little bit of a gun jump, because like again, I don't know the context of the conversation, but she got real heated about this real quick.
I because
You're
I
not the
guess
asshole, but it definitely is not that deep.
it's the way he just shut her down, which made her mad.
Maybe.
Because
Yeah.
it says my husband says I am not an author because I don't do it for a living, and he would be upset if someone said they were, and later on learned it was a hobby, which kind of means he's not taking her passions seriously.
Mm.
Even if it was just a hobby, it's a hobby that helps her contribute to their lifestyle.
Yeah, you got a point with that. I hmm. Yeah, I'd say you're not the asshole. At the same time, the husband might have to like reality check himself on that one because even if it's just a hobby, like that's why you put professional in front of there. I feel like I don't know, professional author, professional book writer, whatever. But she's still an author. She still like writes
Yeah.
books. She still wrote a lot of them, and she's still writing them. It isn't like it's a hobby, so you don't get the title. Like we're all streamers. It's not we're not doing a full time job,
We?
but motherfucker, yes, you included. You have streamed before.
You
Isaiah's
know a
getting
commie?
into it. All right, you know what? I'm about to go to your house. I'm about to go to your house and I'm going to King's house to get the tire iron. I'm going to Aquatico's house to get the tire iron. Ooh, okay. Point is, even if it's just a hobby, you've still done it. Like you've gained from it. I think you have the right to have that title on it. But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe there has to be like the conversation was really heated for it to get this far. Like maybe some shouting included. I don't know because from the way it's described, it seems like a little bit of a jump. I can't really. The general consensus I'd say for me is not an asshole, but damn, did this shit flare up quick.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna say not the asshole. Probably lock your husband in the closet for an hour.
Okay, hold on,
Let him
hold on, hold
reflect on
on,
his
hold on,
actions.
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Whoa, 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 whoa. When was the husband's name Harry fucking Potter? What are we doing here?
Hey, yo. Okay, you
Why
see,
are we
but
locking him in a broom closet? See, when he
uh,
comes out of that closet and start casting magic, then what you gonna do?
uh, write about it. She's an author.
She becomes fucking part two, Hogwarts, Warthog Legacy.
Please. Okay. Am I the asshole for not giving a kid a Nintendo Switch after he won a family game?
If you made the promise and didn't hold up, fuck you. Sorry, that was personal. Ooh, move on. Sorry.
My immediate family loves to have family gatherings and game nights where we all just get together, eat, and play games. There's 14 of us, 8 adults, brothers, sisters, spouses, and 6 kids. We play a wide variety of games and even create our own games for the hell of it. I've seen a video of a game where you can roll a can on the table. Depending on where the can stops, you win the prize. But the hardest prize being something, excuse me, I have been saving a good I have been having a good year financially, so I thought it'd be pretty fun to play this game for the kids with the main prize being a Nintendo Switch. Well, when the family started arriving, to my surprise, one of the families brought an extra kid. He was a friend from school and tagged along with their son. Oh, well, that's fine. The more the merrier. However, for that game, I made it clear that the Nintendo Switch was for my kids or nieces or nephews. He can play the game if he wants, but he can't win the Switch. I wasn't giving the Switch to some random kid I've never met and will never see again. Everyone seemed to agree, maybe because they figured he wouldn't win, given the odds. Guess what? The little shit won and cried when he couldn't have the Switch. Edit, the kid is 10 years old. The family that brought him seemed a little annoyed with me too. Am I the asshole?
Now, see, we need more context before you can fully say anything. What is the congratulations to the family in the first place?
He is just a school friend to their
No, that's
child.
how close of a friend are they?
Uh,
Because like for me and Isaiah, that nigga's basically my fucking brother at this point. So my family doesn't really give a shit. Like
Yeah,
if we're in this case,
I'd imagine because like you were able to come to the house
what?
and like join in. It's you have to at least be like known. It isn't just like, oh, we're meeting for the first time, welcome in. Like, nah,
well,
Well, I
not
mean,
even that.
he
Like
said that
for
they were meeting for the first time. This is a kid he will see today and never again.
yeah, we don't know that though.
No, he says right here, I wasn't giving the Switch to a random kid. I
No, no, no,
never.
yeah, because he's assuming that this kid's gonna pull one time and never again. He can't say for sure if this kid's gonna pull up again or not.
I mean, yeah, but at this point in time, like, this kid can't be considered family to OP because literally the first time meeting. and competing for a Switch he saved up for immediate family.
No, no, ex fucking parents of like whoever's kid, ex parents of whoever like kid agreed to like bring on in the first place. A whole
Uh,
judgment.
yeah. Uh,
This, I feel like, did you at least give like some kind of like alternate prize for it? Because I feel like,
I would assume so because like, what is it? He made it clear that he can play if he wants, but he can't win, and everyone agreed. Partially because of the odds, but before he played, everyone had agreed. Even if he had won, he was not getting that as a prize. So everyone was on good terms until the Switch was won. I don't know.
And if we're being honest, that kid got up lucky to fucking switch his dog shit.
yeah, but I don't know. Like, I don't think you're the asshole because you already got everyone's like agreements prior and everything, but like, I'm assuming like you offered something else, like at least something else of equal value, because like I don't like even if I agreed to that, if I won the fucking prize, I'm gonna still be a little bit irked. Like I know it's my fault, but all around, like I had to get something else.
Yeah, I'm
But
assuming that they would have given him like secondary prize or something. Cause I've seen the videos they're talking about, and usually it's like it'll be like cash, different amounts of cash, with the grand prize being like the Switch.
I feel like I definitely would have like given like a cash prize.
It's like,
Yeah,
okay, well, can't win the Switch, but 150 could go into you buying your own.
right.
Hey,
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna say not the asshole, cause they had all already agreed on the terms before he had taken his play.
Yeah, that was like like automatically assuming OP offered something else, like maybe a cash prize or like something else they had or a pick of whatever else. Then that's like, yeah, that you're not the asshole.
Yeah. What about you, Jeremiah? What is your stance?
Probably not the asshole. Need more information.
Uh, let's see. Am I the asshole for asking my brother to move his wedding date farther away from mine? I've been in a
Yes.
I've been in a relationship with my fiance for 7 years. We broke up 7 times, but we always found a way back to each other. We've been through. Right, look, let us just read the post. We have
No.
been. We
Why the
have
fuck would we
been.
do it? No. No.
we.
This
Go,
bitch is
go on,
stupid.
go
No.
on,
Keep
go
it,
on.
no,
No,
keep
no,
going.
no.
Next one. Yeah, you're going to the next one.
Hold on, now I'm curious. Now I'm
Let her
curious.
rock. Let her rock. Let her rock.
We've been through hell and back, and we're more in love now than ever. My brother Joey has been with this girl Lana for 5 years, and they have 2 kids together. She got pregnant with their first kids only a few months into their casual relationship, and they got serious after that. My family and I tolerate her for the kids. She's kind of loud, competitive, and self centered, and she copies me all the time because she's jealous, I guess. Last October, my fiance finally proposed to me, and a couple months later, to everyone's surprise, Joey proposed to Lana. He always said that he didn't want to marry her, so this totally came out of left field. Lana claimed that they agreed to get married for tax reasons and that they were in love and all too, but I called BS. She couldn't stand that I'm getting married first, so she forced my brother to propose. She set their wedding date to 1 month after mine to one up me because that's how she is. I thought that's not fair to our guests because some of them live out of town and they can't afford to fly here twice in 1 month for two weddings. My mom agreed with me and went over to Joey's house, talked to them to pushing their wedding date out further. Joey and Lana got defensive. Lana said she always dreamed of a summer wedding and that she had the perfect dress for it, which was bright white, and my mom made an unnecessary comment about how she shouldn't be wearing a white dress. It only pissed off my brother more and he screamed at us. I tried to get them to understand that they already have a wonderful family life, a house, kids, everything. I haven't gotten to start that life with my fiance, so the least they could do is let me have my dream wedding in peace without her trying to compete with me. Joey called my relationship a sham and kicked me and my mom out the house. Joey and Lana aren't talking to us. They uninvited us from their daughter's birthday next weekend, and I just want us all to live in peace with each other without any competitiveness or ill feelings. I will apologize if I'm wrong. Reddit, am I the asshole?
You're not the asshole, but you got some other issues going on.
Yeah.
It's no, I'm not the type of dude to say a brother's whipped. But damn, he's really a fear. Anyways, but like, yeah,
It,
this is I, I, I can't, man. Yeah, this is. I'm imagining like you already said what it was gonna be. A month later, you expressed your worries or concerns about everyone not being able to fly out twice in 1 month. And everyone agreed. You went over, said, "Hey, do you guys think you could like rearrange it because we think it's a bit like funny?"
you see, and like, uh, his fiance is complaining about wanting a summer wedding. Just move it to next year summer. You'd have the entire wedding time to yourself, and everyone would only have to focus on yours. Even if you wanted to one up her, then you would have a whole year to plan how to make it bigger and better and all that nonsense.
Yeah, it like this feels that was just yeah. This is this is a bit much.
Yeah, I'm gonna say not the asshole, but they should, I don't know, maybe stop hanging out with that family member. The less interaction, the better. What about you guys?
Honestly, not the asshole, but yeah, y'all need to figure that out.
Yeah. What about you, Jeremiah?
This family needs super duper counseling.
So true. All right. Next post. Oh boy. Am I the asshole for firing my brother and kicking him out and back to our parents' house? We already have a flair for not the a hole. I took in my brother when he dropped out of university because he wasn't enjoying it. My parents had made it obvious to him that if he was living here, he would be expected to pay rent. My partner and I live in a fixer-upper we bought in an auction. It needs a lot of work, so I agreed that my brother could live with us as long as he did the yard work and helped us fix up the house. He's been pretty good about it. He's been a huge help with some of the projects. He's really good at a lot of stuff that isn't in our wheelhouse. Last week, though, he started saying that we should be paying him for all his work. We sat down with him and explained that he was getting a free place to stay and free food in return for about 20 hours worth of work a week. uh he said that we would be paying a contractor more. I asked him what was going on. He said he wanted money to go out and do stuff. We told him to get a job. It turns out he was whining to our parents that we were taking advantage of him. It was our mom that convinced him we were not giving him enough in return for his work. So we told him to pack his stuff and go back to my parents' place. We dropped him off with all his belongings, and now he is their problem. He phoned us to complain because our parents do not have fiber optic internet and he's expected to pay rent, so now he has to get a job. I feel bad for him, but I think he had it pretty good here. Free room, free food, and free utilities. He wants to come back, but most of the projects we needed him for are completed now. My partner and I can complete the rest without him, and we like having the house to ourselves again.
Yeah, no, you're not the asshole. Your brother just needs to fucking pick up his slack.
Yeah.
Like, you dropped out of university because you weren't enjoying it. That in itself is like a rabbit hole of shit, but basically, you dropped out because you weren't enjoying it. So now you've been huge help with some of the projects. You got a lot of stuff not in your wheelhouse. He started saying that we should be paying him for all the work. First of all, you are living in the house, not paying a single thing for food, not paying a single bit of rent, not paying for the lights, electricity, internet, nothing. You are basically living there rent free, quite literally in someone else's crib. And you are staying there because you are helping with the place. And you are going to just start asking to be paid for a house you don't pay bills, you don't pay anything in. No. You're what you need to do is get a fucking job or grow the fuck up. Like, hey, you're good at this stuff. Maybe go make it into a job. See if you can find somebody that needs help with this stuff. Turn it into like a contracting business, maybe. But you you want to do all that, and you're not even going to university. So at this point, you're just staying at home, no job, nothing to do with your time, and you're not even putting any effort in. No, get out. Like, no.
Yeah.
End of story. You're not like if he at least was working a job and doing this, it's like, okay, you know what? You're making an effort. I can go a little bit easier, but you're not actively doing anything to get your shit in order. Even if you were still going to university, it's like, okay, you're a student trying to figure this stuff out. You could use a little bit of money in your pocket. I can understand you bringing that up, but you're actively not doing shit. You're doing nothing but taking up space. I'm sorry. No, get out. Not the asshole. I don't know why I went off like that. This Pepsi doing something to me. Yo, what the fuck they put in this?
Cocaine.
I read caramel color and thought it said cocaine. I need to I need help.
Please.
I actively glanced over it, and when you said cocaine, my brain put the letters together. I need to lay down.
Reading
Jerry, what do
Reddit
you
supposed to do
think?
that to you. Yeah, what do you think, Jerry?
This nigga you need to get his asshole immediately.
Please. You know what? You know what?
Hit him with the crip initiation. Hit him with the fight back.
We Alright. Am I the asshole for not giving my sister a +1 to my wedding and telling her she's being selfish? I'll get straight to the issue. I'm getting married in about 2 months. We have a pretty intimate wedding in terms of number of guests. So outside of married engaged couples, only people we know have a long-term significant other receive the +1. Ella is my half sister. She has a LD. I don't know what that means, but she has an LD boyfriend who's coming to visit. All well and good, but he'll be here the week of my wedding. She asked for a +1 to bring him. I said that's not possible because we've already confirmed catering and everything, and I don't really know him that well. Ella tried saying I gave my friends +1s, but they've been in actual relationships for a couple of years, and they'll be
Oh,
hurt if.
learning disability. LD is a learning
Oh,
disability.
I was thinking something else. Uh, and they'll be hurt if I don't give them +1. So worry about what I was thinking. I said sorry, but this is our decision, and I don't want other people getting upset and other relatives asking why. As I left, asking why they couldn't bring their boyfriend slash girlfriend of the month week a day. She's now saying she won't be attending because it's disrespectful to her relationship, and she wants to spend time with him before she leaves. I said she's being extremely selfish and acting like she's the only person who didn't receive a +1. This is causing issues between me and Ella. So am I the asshole? No.
Okay. So, no. Also, I'm not gonna even try to fathom what you were thinking about because I have an idea when you saw LD, and I don't want to. I'm not. No, not talking about that. It's learning disability. Get your mind out of the gutter. Anyways,
That's not even. I okay. I don't know what you were thinking, but that wasn't what I was thinking.
what were you thinking?
Lazy dumbass. Were you thinking of like limp?
I will. I will give no explanation of what was going through my mental facilities at the moment. Now, with that said, I might have. Anyways, uh, fuck, my brain just completely dropped the point. She asked for a plus one to bring him. Said that's not possible. You already confirmed catering and everything, and don't really know him that well. Uh, I'd say no. Like you've already confirmed a number of people. It would make things weirder. Like you've already confirmed everything so far. This, yeah, I don't think you're the asshole. This is just kind of like it's an inconvenience thing you pretty much set up from the get go. So I don't think,
Yeah, like this is well, most weddings are like meticulously planned, and that making sure like nothing sets everything off is very important.
yeah. So this is one of those things where you're not the asshole. It's just how this usually goes.
Yep. I'm afraid to ask, but what about you, Jeremiah?
Uh, so from my let me make sure I got this cleared. So girl wanted the plus one, no one else can get a plus one, right?
Yeah,
And sister was like, "Nah, I can't do that."
yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what I'm hearing here is that this the other individual and great and the individual that wants the plus one even though it can't be given for whatever reason, right?
Yeah,
Is being a little greedy, right?
yeah.
Possibly.
So what I'm hearing here is that if this bitch suddenly got a fucking ass whooping as a kid, this shit would have never
Okay,
have
you know
happened.
what? Yeah, this is. I tried it. I tried it. It is not.
You extended the hand. My fucking god.
Am I the asshole for refusing to come with my family on vacation if my boyfriend isn't
Well,
invited?
now we
My
get the inverse.
my 29 female family has always shown favoritism towards my younger sister and brother's partners. They treat them like family but don't hide their dislike of the partners I've had. Recently, my family has been planning a trip to Korea this summer. We'll be visiting my grandmother's hometown as well as visiting other areas. The problem comes with the fact that both my sister, 22 female boyfriend, well, both my sister's 22 female boyfriend, 23 female, and my brother's, do you mean male? Anyways, and my brother, 26 male boyfriend, 24 male. Wait, hold on. I'll come back to that. That structuring is messing me up. Have been invited to join us. However, they haven't extended that invitation to my boyfriend, 29 male. When I brought this up, my mother told me it's because he's not a long-term partner, which I call bullshit on. Yes, my siblings have been with their partners longer, sister 4 years, brother 5 years, but I've still been with my boyfriend for just over a year. Personally, I think it's a race thing. My sister's boyfriend is Korean and my brother's is Thai, while my boyfriend is white. My family denies this, and my grandmother says it's because he's disrespectful. The thing is, he isn't. Me and my siblings are all second generation immigrants, and I just never took that much interest in Korean culture. They, however, became obsessed with it at a young age. At a young age, I just didn't engage as much. Since it's not that important to me, I never told my boyfriend about any customs or what is and isn't appropriate to them. He's kind and nice to them. It's just that he's not Korean or even Asian. I kept pushing to bring him, and I kept being told no. So I said that if he isn't coming, then I'm not either, which very much hurt my family. Family is important to them. I've had some time to cool off, and I feel bad for hurting my family, but I'm proud of myself for standing my ground. I'm conflicted, so am I the asshole?
This is one of the more difficult ones. It's like I can't blame you for being somewhat like disconnected, or at least like not really taking that much interest. Yeah, that pretty much makes sense.
To not teach him about like any of it because it doesn't really come to mind. You don't see it as important or as that important to have to relay to him. So the whole point about him being disrespectful, it's like he was never learned. He never learned. Honestly, I feel like I feel like they should have at least given him a shot to try and like prove it. Like I don't know, maybe at least have him like pay off a little bit of his own ticket. Maybe if it's like a financial thing, it's like I don't think you're the asshole here. Like it makes sense that you're feeling bad because family. It, you're not the asshole. This whole event, or at least like everyone's point of it, is messy. So it's hard to form a full thing opinion. Words leave me. So general consensus, you're not the asshole.
Yeah. I do think it's kind of how do I put this? I think she isn't the asshole for standing her ground because even if he doesn't end up being long term like the family's expecting, I feel like to some extent maybe he should be extended the same grace as the other ones, maybe to help that like chance of it lasting longer. If anything, could be a race thing. We'll never know because no one has been able to confirm. Either they don't want to admit or it's just an
We can
assumption.
we can all make assumptions. Like most of us in the group are like children of immigrants. I think we
Yeah.
can make a few assumptions with this one, but like I'm being completely honest. Like I'm not trying to say anything, but everyone has their own views of America,
Yeah.
especially if you're from certain places. So just in general, there's a fair bit of stereotyping no matter where you go. Like it's probably somewhere in there. It's not the general thing, but it's probably a little bit of an influence. I'm not saying that my family is very clear of that, but we're not going to get into that. Basically, everyone from other countries has their ideas of Americans. It's just
Yeah.
kind of how things are.
I do wish her family would just be upfront with her a bit more. Uh, that being said, I don't think she's the asshole for, feeling slighted by her family and retaliating. Especially, it's not even that big of a. I guess to them, it's like serious because they take family very seriously. But she also is expressing that she doesn't feel she's being taken seriously and they kind of brushed her off.
Mm,
Yeah.
that's the messy bit of this. It's like they aren't really extending the same hand. She believes there's something underlying. There couldn't be. There probably is. There probably isn't. It's like there's a lot of missing pieces here. So it's like overall, I feel like they still should have tried. Like he's disrespectful, right? That's what they think. If she explained like, oh no, he's not meaningly different disrespectful. He just doesn't know much about the culture. Wouldn't it then be make more sense to try to introduce some of this to him? Like have him interact with the family, tell him what's right, what's wrong, how this usually happens, how this usually happens, how to carry yourself like this. Like I understand the whole you're someone else's kid, you should have been taught this, but you come from two extremely different cultures. Like I'm not completely sure on how Korean culture carries itself, but I know it's a lot different from what we do over here. So it's like when it comes to that kind of thing, it's like I feel like you should have tried to extend the hand, maybe like teach him a few things. If it doesn't work out, it's like, hey, all right, you know what? We tried. We gave him the chance. You saw what happened. But I don't know. Like again, like I said before, if it's a financial thing, you can have him like pay off his side of it, come with and everything. Just just feels like, yeah, just no. That's it.
Uh, I'm gonna. Well, I already stated it. Not the asshole. I think you also said not the asshole. Jeremiah's gonna find some way to say beat them as a child.
What the fuck? I wasn't gonna say that.
What were you gonna say?
So what I was gonna say is 100% like Alex said. They need if it was like financial thing, they probably should have told him that up front. Because if not, now this guy's gonna like feel alienated from the family. Like, damn, they really don't want me here or something like that. That's
Hmm.
just the way I see it, though. Because there has to be like a legitimate reason why you just say no. Because like if you just don't fuck with them, I rather just say you don't fuck with the person. Like, yeah, we don't like we don't trust you, something like that, or like we don't want you coming to our family event. Like, just say that. Like, just be upfront about it. Because like whatever issue it really is, it either can get resolved or it can't get resolved, and there's nothing that she could have done about in the first place. So don't try to like give her the false hope that she could.
Yeah, pretty much the alienation is the main thing that kind of puts them in the bad seat.
Fellas, it's a tear for the asshole. Personally, I would say I would find a way to beat this person.
I shut up.
I take time out of my busy to come here, crack a couple jokes, and then I fucking get labeled as like a who person. I fucking hate it here.
What? Okay, now you're putting words in my mouth. All I said you were gonna find a way to say that they should have been beat as a child. All right, well, let's move on to the next one.
I got shit to say about that. Fuck.
Oh wait, I didn't read it. Am I the asshole for canceling my wife's vacation? I'm from a developing country that was pretty dangerous when I was a kid, but has come a long way in the last 20 years. My wife has watched too many movies and TV shows that show my home country in the worst possible light. My
Fair play.
family that still lives there all tend to be in professional fields and work in medical, legal, educational, or agricultural industries. For example, one of my cousins owns several companies that makes products from sugarcane waste. He makes more money than I do. Where is it? My grandmother and mom regularly travel back to visit family. It is safe enough for a middle aged and elderly woman to travel around in. I go back all the time too. I like seeing family, but also everything there is so cheap and is very cost effective for me to take long vacations there. After more than 5 years of dating and 10 years of marriage, my wife has finally agreed to visit with me. The plan was to go for a couple of weeks this summer. 1 week in my hometown visiting my family, and 1 week in a resort city that has dozens of cruise ships stop at every day. Excuse me, God. Basically, it would be safer than San Francisco. Damn. But all she has
That's
been
kind of
doing
a low
since
bar,
she
but
agreed
okay.
is telling everyone how scared she is to go and how she's only going because I wore her down. I've been putting up with it for over a month. Last weekend we had her uncle and his family from out of town over for dinner, and her folks joined us. She started going on about how scared she is. Her aunt mentioned that they had visited the resort city on one of their cruises. She had some pictures on her phone and was showing them off. My wife still wouldn't drop how dangerous it is and how scared she is. Yesterday, I called my family and apologized for not being able to see them this year. I also canceled our reservation at the five-star hotel we were going to stay at. Instead, I got us a very nice hotel in New York, and I got some tickets for two shows on Broadway's because of the price difference between the two vacations. We were only going for a week. I told her about it, and now she's pissed at me for canceling the hotel and just taking her to New York. She has been telling all the people at the school where she works how she's so brave for going to a third world country and how she was basically going to be staying in a hut. We were going to be staying with my uncle. He has servants. The hotel was nicer than any place we have stayed since our honeymoon. I honestly thought that I was doing the right thing. All she had just done is complain and tell everyone how scared she is. I'm scared of heights. If she had gotten me skydiving lessons as a gift after I agreed to try it. Wait, what? If she had gotten me skydiving lessons as a gift after I agreed to try it, I would not be surprised if she canceled them at all. If all I did was complain to anyone who would listen. Edit. She told me every day for the last 2 months she didn't want to go. Should I have called her a liar? I just decided she meant she was telling me and everyone else. Did she really not want to go?
Hmm. All right. So automatically, the little bit where she mentioned like, oh yeah, I'm going off to a third world country where I'm basically gonna be
Racism.
lit. Yeah, I was 5 seconds from actually punching the wall next to me. First things first, why the fuck would you're going off to a country, you know your husband goes there daily, your the old grandma goes there daily, and you're over there watching tapes about oh how dangerous it is and all that. Which would you really take a fucking documentary that needs to be entertaining, needs to draw people to watch it for people to get paid over your actual fucking husband who has literally been there and back time and time again, has seen the shit, firsthand accounts. That's first. Second, I want to slap the taste out this bitch's mouth, and that's just personal. Like that just irks me. Third, are you really surprised that you were complaining to everyone and he ended up canceling it because he thought you were fucking terrified? It's called common sense. The OP's not the asshole. His wife needs to get a fucking reality check in the form of a heel going through her face. Oh god. The fucking verdict, not an asshole, but that bitch needs an ass whooping.
Well, we've hit the ass whipping boy.
I don't care, man.
No, no, I get it, I get it.
That that deserves me.
Alright, Jeremiah, your take.
My take is my ass was not paying attention. Let me stop.
Oh my god.
But I mean, personally, the way I see it, you go on for I don't even know how. If you go on for more than like 2 weeks talking about how you don't want to do something, I'm gonna assume that you don't want to do the thing. And if we're doing that thing together, I'm just gonna cancel it. That's just me though, as a person who can take contact clues.
Mm.
Now that's just me. Though. Maybe I'm crazy here for assuming that if someone said constantly they don't want to go do something, that they don't want to do it. Maybe I'm crazy here because this bitch is like, hey yo, I don't want to stay in a fucking hut. Now, like, look for me, right? For me personally, I'm never gonna go to fucking Africa. It's too hot there personally for me, and I hate mosquitoes. And I know damn well I'm gonna get bit. Not even like a racist sense. If I go anywhere, mosquitoes are gonna fuck with me because my blood to them is just like fucking premier. Like they fuck with me. I don't fuck with them. So off bat, also by the way, well, winter, yo, those niggas don't exist. Just saying. But yeah. Now for me personally, I would never go. I'm not gonna go Africa. I'm also not gonna say, yeah, I'm about to go to a fucking hut or some shit like that. So yeah, moral of the story, this bitch is stupid.
Mm.
So true, so true. Alright, yeah, not the asshole. Let's keep it trucking.
Before I
Maybe
actually have a goddamn aneurysm.
okay. I read this one like the title earlier. That one killed me.
Huh?
Am, am I the asshole for not covering up my tramp stamp? I, 22 female, got a lower back tattoo when I was 18. Excuse me. I'll be honest and tell you straight up that it's pretty trashy, but it made me feel sexy at the time, so I got it. I don't normally cover it up because I don't really give a fuck what strangers think, but I do normally keep it covered around family. I'm from Australia. Since it's summer
Explains
here,
it.
please. Since it's summer
Those
here,
motherfuckers are survivals. They're
yeah.
survivalists.
I've been at my parents' place a lot because they have a pool. My most recent visit, my aunt, uncle, and little cousins were over wanting to use the pool. I left my little cousin, so I was pretty excited to play the cool big cousin and have some fun in the pool. Since I was already in the pool when they got there, I was already in my bikini, so obviously my tattoo was showing. My aunt saw it and freaked the fuck out, yelling at me to cover up my tramp stamp. I refused and she kept yelling. After refusing for the fifth time, my aunt just packed up her kids' stuff and left. I feel like a total asshole now since the kids didn't get to play in the pool after an hour drive and had to go straight back with another hour drive in this terrible heat. Am I the asshole? Edit the tattoo from one of my comments so people don't need to go through the comments. It's mostly just butterflies, and in the middle in small cursive it says this side up. The writing is small enough that you won't be able to read it unless you're right behind me. I'm gonna say no, man. It is just a tattoo.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna say that your aunt definitely overshot the gun with that one. Like, it is a singular tattoo that I don't think the kids would get the wrong idea about. They're just kids going to play in a pool. Like, I don't think the what did she think? It was like some kind of curse mark or something? Fucking Orochimaru was just gonna crawl out the back of it? Like, I don't know what she. It's a tattoo. That's that's it. I mean, I understand if you don't want your kids thinking about getting one. That's one thing. You could just tell them no. Like, just fucking tell them how it's done, and don't fucking be scared. It's literally you need a puncture in your skin 2,000 times. Tell any kid that, and they're gonna go, okay, maybe not with the tattoo. That's just that's just it. I don't think it just feels like she's fucking overreacting with this.
Yeah. Your take, Jeremiah.
Covered him up. Whore. Let me stop. Uh, yeah, nah, it's just a tattoo.
Yeah.
It's not that deep.
Yeah. Someone needs to get that on a chill pill.
Jeez.
Okay, wait, hold on.
Okay, hold
would
on.
would I be the asshole if I make my
That's
father homeless? I'm a 19-year-old
that's
male and my father is 58. Context: When I was 9 years old, I got into an ATV accident at my mom's boyfriend's at the time property, and I ended up having two surgeries because of this, and left with a gnarly scar on the top of my forehead. I stupidly wasn't wearing a helmet. My dad sued the homeowners insurance company on my behalf and won a good bit of money for me that I was supposed to have access to when I turned 18, around 110K. The original ruling was that the money was to be in a secure account and given to me in increments at the ages of 18, 21, and 25. However, my dad fought this and was given sole conservatorship over the money. He was not to spend it for himself or without permission from the court. Fast forward to when I turned 18 and my dad signed papers from the court terminating his conservatorship and was ordered that he transfer the money into my account. This is where the problems truly began. For the past year, he's been dodgy about the money every time I brought it up. Eventually, I had enough and just started demanding the money and proof he still had it. Just last month, he admitted that it was all gone. I'm absolutely livid. I contacted a lawyer for advice on how to proceed moving forward. I was told that I can sue him for treble damages, meaning that he would owe me triple of the original amount. Now, to be honest, my father and I have had other fallouts over the years, other than money, and our relationship was already falling apart. So I don't really care what type of repercussions he would face if I were to move forward and sue him. If I win the treble damage lawsuit, I know he can't afford to pay me. He'd be forced to sell his property to pay me. This would leave him homeless. Would I be the asshole? No, sue him for all he's worth. Put that man on the streets.
Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, wait. Just hold on. So, right out the gate, right? I'd say yes, you would be the asshole for leaving him homeless, right? That does not absolve him of literally fucking everything up by apparently spending all the money prior to you turning 18. That was supposed to be money that
110K.
that was supposed to be going straight to you, and that's completely fucked what he did. That wouldn't absolve you of being the asshole for literally suing him to the point of him being homeless. Is it what's warranted? I'd say yes. But just still, you just end up with two assholes in that scenario. That
Sometimes it takes an asshole to be an asshole. Let me stop.
like Jesus Christ, 110K. My question is, what did you spend? Like it was like what? This happened when he was 9, 10 years. So what? No, 9 years because he turned 18 when he got it. So what happened in that 9 years to need 110K? You would need the court's like permission to spend the money. So what? What did you buy behind the scenes? 110K gone in the course of 9 years. That's what doesn't add up. Like how?
Don't know how he did it, but he did it. Uh, Again, I personally think maybe a little homelessness will make him come to his senses.
I I'd say you would still be the asshole. Like you wouldn't. It'd be justified in a sense, but you're still leaving your father homeless. Like regardless of your whole situation and everything, like you're pretty much casting one of your family members off to the streets. So yeah, you'd still be the asshole. It'd be fall under like you reap what you sow territory. Morally, that's up in the air. Would you be the asshole for it? Yeah, this is just all around a tricky situation. Like, thanks for feeding me some words, Jersey. Because my brain was running out of fucking words to say, but yeah, it's basically a tricky situation. Thanks, Atro.
Alright, Jeremiah, your take?
What did he spend the? I'm trying to figure out what he spent the money on. Like that's
Right?
the only thing I care
All we know is that it's gone. So, do you think if he sued for triple the money and left him homeless, would he be the asshole?
about. No, no, no. No, I get that part. I get that part. I'm with Alex again. There's a tricky situation because make someone homeless. That's kind of no matter how you put it, that's really fucked up.
Yeah.
Now at the same time, that money 100% was that child's money, or,
Yeah.
or
True.
OP's money, I should say. So what that's what I'm trying to figure. Like, what was the money? Like, if we knew it was for 100%, then I'll say it's just fraud. If it was like for some like actual important shit, like oh yeah, I been keeping from me this whole time, but I don't know, like I couldn't afford rent or something. I don't know what the fuck, but
Medical bills came in or some
yeah,
I don't know, something like that.
yeah. So I'm gonna hold judgment for now until we get more information. It's probably never gonna happen, but yeah, this is me. Now, with the information I do have, I will say they're both assholes.
Mm.
I'm going to say he would not be.
I'm going to say actually one thing that does sway it actually because I this just clicked in my head. He said he could sue for triple the amount. He could technically sue for the exact amount of money that's missing. And I don't think it would leave the father in a similar situation or it wouldn't leave him homeless. Like based off of what he said, it's triple the amount that would cause that. So if you're going all in with the triple the amount, that's yeah, that it kind of just sways to you. Yeah, you would be the asshole. Like you have the option to basically get back the exact amount you were promised. If it were me, I would just well, mm, I can't really say that
Yeah,
because the whole
exactly.
situation. Yeah, I caught myself in that one. But all around, I feel like like just take the exact amount that's missing. I feel like just go for that and just leave it there. Well, Jersey does. Atro does bring up a good point. He wouldn't have the money in the first place if his dad didn't sue on his behalf.
Yeah, but it's still the kid's money though.
Yeah.
It is a kid's money, but all around, I feel like the kid, the kid should pretty much sue for the exact amount missing. I feel like triple the amount is, yeah, it would leave a point, but it,
Okay, well,
I want to say
the
it would
kid,
feel like overkill.
well, the kid can't sue for like the exact amount because like you got to pay for like lawyer fees and shit like that. So you can't like sue
True.
for the exact amount and, like come out the same month. But triple's definitely like ain't no way your lawyer about to cost triple the
I
amount
mean,
they
have you
paid.
seen those lawyer fees though?
Again, ain't no way it's about to cost triple the. Okay, how much money did you win again in that settlement?
110K.
Okay, well, so I need to know what lawyer you're getting that costs triple that.
I'm not getting the lawyer. He's getting the lawyer.
Again, you can find a lawyer for much cheaper than that. Oh, this is fucking Phoenix Wright himself. Like, nah.
Yo, okay, but like, imagine if it was.
Oh hell
Well,
no.
if it's Phoenix Wright, he's not going to be on this case because you're not defending yourself here.
I think 100K would probably bankrupt his father regardless. Well, yeah, but it wouldn't be fucking. It wouldn't be a fucking nail in a coffin like 330K.
Well, I mean, if he's
Like
already gonna be bankrupt from the 110K, you might as well go all out. Let me stop.
bro, nah. At least give bro a chance to try to make it
Nah,
back.
nah, bro had a chance to not spend the money.
Like I said earlier, we don't know what the fuck he spent 110K on.
The fact was, he shouldn't have spent it at all.
Hey, we don't know what
You know
happened.
why?
For all we know,
He
we
he.
don't know what happened. That money could have
Could
been
be
for.
some crazy
You
shit.
see, that's the thing. None of this would have happened if he hadn't fought to get control over the money. Like, where does it say it? Uh, the original ruling was that the money was to be in a secure account and given to me in increments at the ages 18, 21, and 25. However, my dad fought this and was given sole conservatorship. So he fought to get control over the money, knowing he had the intent to go around the court and spend the money.
Yeah. Yeah. You got a point there.
Yeah,
If-
I think it's completely justified because had he just been an upstanding member of society, let me stop. Had
Stop with that.
had he just gone with the original court proceedings, he would have never ended up in a situation like this.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So
what
you're
Jersey
like
said.
taking out loans without the intent to pay them back, but in this case, you're not fucking over bank or government. Yeah. Ugh. It's a messy situation. We can argue like morality and like who would be justified in this, but
Well, I
all
mean,
around, I would
clearly not the
say,
dad.
all around, I would say, at the end of the day, you're still sending someone out on the street. Like whether it's justified or not, that would still constitute as you being the asshole.
I can see that. But I personally support OP and his endeavors to make that man pay.
Kate could fuck him his dad over and invite him to live at his house.
Give him a little shack to live in.
There, now pay your water, rent, your mortgage, and all of it. See you later, pops.
Bring some like little snack bags.
What is this? It's your dinner.
It's peanut butter and jelly. I'm allergic to peanut butter. Damn, that's crazy.
Better scrape the peanut butter out.
Oh my god. Alright, yeah, let's keep it tracking.
Get this man on a payment plan with his 401k.
Okay, wait, this is a funny time. Am I the asshole for telling my fiance to shut the hell up and stop talking about archaeology at a funeral?
Okay, right out the gate, no.
Wait,
But
wait.
wait. Actually,
Nah, she had to come.
Alright,
I'm
me,
gonna say
me.
out the gate, no, but I'm interested. I want to know
Me,
where this goes.
me, 28 male, and my soon to be wife Phoebe, 27 female, have been dating for 4 years. We've quite an amazing relationship, to be honest. We were at a mutual friend's funeral, George, 27 male. The three of us met at college and we basically became buddies from the get go. None of us are archaeologists, by the way. Our bachelor's was business administration.
Why the fuck does that matter?
A couple of weeks ago, we were at George's funeral service. Most of the time, just us with his family. We were the only outsiders there. Phoebe, completely out of the blue, started to talk about archaeology to George's mother. Too long didn't read. She started talking about some obscure South American indigenous mummies. In detail, she talked about an ancient native boy who was buried with a purposefully punctured, broken Antara flute next to his mouth. They called the killed instrument. It was meant to never be played by anybody else. In the same way, it was played once by its owner. The flute was made of a stone called Kumbarbalita, which means it was meant to last the generation. So it had been broken on purpose. She talked about connection between the flute and its owner being buried together. The idea that the instrument was willfully broken in order to bring the instrument closer to its owner in eternity, achieving immortality for both of them by that irreversible action of breaking an instrument that was meant to last forever. I'm basically paraphrasing, but that was the idea. I can use some of her fancy words because literally airdropped the article she was talking about right there at the service. I'm wasting characters on this just so you know how obscure the conversation was. I get the idea, I get the intention. It was interesting for a college class. In the context of a funeral for our dear friend, however, I thought it was a little out of pocket and sort of distasteful, disrespectful to talk about that. George's mother was polite and she asked some questions, but she was mostly quiet, just listening to Phoebe talk nonstop. Then George's father and brother approached us, and she was about to start to them, telling them the whole damn story once again. I quietly said, "Please don't." She was about to start rambling, so I just told her, "Just shut the fuck up, please." She didn't speak to me that entire evening. We talked about it later, back in our place, and I explained why I reacted that way. She said, "Gotcha, you're fine," but she has acted differently to me since that day. One of my friends told me that I broke her, and it does feel that way. It's almost like she's a robot and her software is malfunctioning. Tension is high for both of us, and George's death hit us hard on both of us. So I don't know if I'm missing something. Am I the asshole? Edit. I'm asking if I'm the asshole here. Don't call my fiance crazy or derogatory words. That's out of place. I'm not here for that shit. I'm deleting this if you keep attacking her.
Your fiance is fucking crazy.
Okay.
Anyways,
Okay. So, first up, comments made about the mummy and everything. I
I get where she was coming from. I guess she's trying to talk about how like he doesn't stop existing even after
yeah,
death.
yeah,
Yeah,
she's trying to bring up the idea of like, oh yeah, afterlife, he's probably enjoying it there. Like she's
yeah.
trying.
I
There's something there.
I think this was probably her way of both trying to cope and trying to like comfort the family. Just wrong time, wrong place.
Yeah, it's like telling jokes at the funeral, like it could work out well or it could just seem like you're making light of someone's actual death, which it's both could be good and bad depending on how people take it. This is one of those things where I feel like to her, she felt like it worked. I think the mother may have felt a little bit easier with the conversation, like the and it seemed like all was all right. It didn't go that well over with the fiance though, and that's where the kind of disconnect happened. And even when they got home, like he explained it, and she went, "All right, gotcha. You're fine. It's not your fault. It just didn't go over well." It seems like she's aware that it didn't go over well, so
Yeah,
she didn't bring up an argument or anything against it. It's just the fact of like different ways to cope didn't go well with everybody. I know I've had a few scenarios where like I've heard someone talk about somebody at a funeral and thought to myself that doesn't sound quite appropriate, but again, misinterpretation versus misinterpretation, it's their own way of coping. So I'd say
I think
Uh,
maybe it's hard to phrase being the asshole when your friend is lying in the casket and you're trying to cope with it, other people are trying to cope with it,
y-
you're both coping in your own ways, and one doesn't really fly as well with the other. Emotions are high, you're missing your friend, things are tense. It's it's a tricky subject.
yeah.
That's the best I can say about it.
I'm personally gonna say not the asshole, because I get like what he did definitely stung her in the moment, but it was probably the only way he could like get her to quickly stop. Probably not the best way, but at the time was the most efficient. At least he was able to explain to her afterwards, just so that it didn't come off like he was being an asshole for being an asshole's sake. Uh, but yeah, everyone is just trying to cope and do what they feel is best in a situation like that. Uh, yeah. What about you, Jeremiah?
I'm in place.
Mm.
Mm. All right, let's let's keep it trucking. How the Book of Mormon ad?
What the fuck?
Yeah, yeah.
This shit still exists. I thought I was tripping.
I think people love that show.
I got a fucking ad for it and was just confused about why a Jehovah's Witness was on stage.
Please. Uh,
They plucked this man off the streets.
am I the asshole for giving my aunt a practice citizenship test and mocking her low score? My cousin got married while serving overseas and brought his wife back to the US. I like her a lot, but my aunt doesn't. I'll call my cousin's wife Z. She will be able to take the citizenship test next year, although she could basically teach a class in US history at this point. She is very anxious about the test and studies for it often. She has been more anxious than usual lately because she is pregnant and has been very emotional and anxious about everything lately. She took a practice test this morning and got one question wrong. She was very upset and in a funk the whole morning after that. My aunt made a passive aggressive jab saying America only takes the best and we have high standards. Z looked like she might cry. I gave my aunt the same practice test and she barely passed, getting a much lower score than Z. I then told my aunt not to feel bad because she was born here, so she doesn't have to meet our high standards. I said this in a very mocking tone. My aunt left. My dad called me to tell me off for mocking his sister. Even my cousin was in a bad mood because it didn't help Z, it just gave me a sense of moral superiority. I think a slice of humble pie will be good for Auntie's health, but no one else agrees. So am I an asshole?
Hmm. So, first up, I mm, the aunt was fishing for it, but I I feel like the score itself should have been the killing blow. You didn't really need to say any more than that. Just show both scores and just say nothing. Like, just let them seize themselves. I feel like this was one of those situations where it's like, you proved your point. Like, at this point, if she says anything else, that then flare. But uh, I don't know. I guess part of me thinks it's like the delivery of it, of like both lines. I don't. This one's weird.
Uh, I think honestly, I think she deserved a little tilling off. Definitely an asshole thing to do. Was a little deserved though.
Yeah, I feel like the score should have said enough. Like, just rank it, put both of them in front of her, and just kind of look at her, say nothing. Let that sink in.
I don't know,
Would have
but
been
the aunt
enough.
was like mocking a pregnant woman who was like already stressing out. Like none of that was necessary. It gives go back to your country energy.
Mm. Uh,
I don't think it was that deep personally, but that's just me.
yeah,
Wait, like the aunts one or
No,
the
know
OP?
what you said. Know what you said.
Uh, no, I'm just saying for me, it gives off that kind of energy because it's like we only take the best. Why would you say that to a like stressing pregnant woman?
I don't know, because like I read that line and my brain just kind of like, for some reason I see that, and my brain just imagines like one of my aunts or uncles like just making a joke out of it or trying to like basically be sarcastic with it to try to like chill out a situation. And that's how my brain thinks it. And I know like my family has an interesting thing where things come off aggressive when they aren't. So you have to read between the lines a lot.
Yeah,
So it's like my brain kind of saw that and went, "Oh, okay, she's being like sarcastic. She's trying to like lift the mood by being a smartass." And like I don't know. Ugh. And it definitely didn't help Z. So I guess that was the main thing here.
yeah,
Was
that's
like
the worst part.
it didn't really help her. If anything, it probably just stressed her out more because it's like, now it's like got in that whole situation. I think that it was definitely an asshole move.
Yeah,
Warranted, probably, but
yeah.
asshole move, kind of just regardless, it landed there.
What about you, Jeremiah? Asshole or not the asshole?
Not the asshole. That bitch had it coming.
So true. Talk your shit.
Talk your shit.
Talk your
Mormon, get the
shit,
fuck out of my
kid.
house!
Let your nuts. I need to find that image again. I love that image so much. All right. Am I the asshole for stealing over $100 worth of food? First time,
Bruh.
first time posting. So format might be a little off here. I, 27 male, just got off a 12-hour shift at work and was too lazy to make food. So I decided to be my typical millennial self and order some food through one of the big food delivery apps. I decided to get something simple and small, a steak burrito. Flash forward to about 30 minutes, I get a knock on the door. There's a bag of food from a place I did not order from. I report to the app I got the wrong delivery and take it inside. The driver's already gone, so I didn't want the food to go to waste. To my pleasant surprise, it was from a local steakhouse with two filet mignons, a baked potato, and a chocolate lava cake. I'm absolutely starving at this point, so I go to town on this blessing from the gods. As I finish the two steaks and the potato, I get a knock on the door, give or take 10-15 minutes after the food was dropped off. To my surprise, it's the delivery driver from before with the correct order in my hand. He hands me the burrito and explains the mix up. Apparently, he was doing multiple deliveries at once and gave me the order he was supposed to drop off first. I laugh it off and take my food, but to my surprise, he asks for the steak dinner back. I tell him sorry that I already ate like 90% of the meal. His mood turns sour real quick. He calls me a thief because the food wasn't mine and an asshole for laughing at the situation. He leaves in a huff and I'm just there confused. I return back to my kitchen table to eat my burrito. Yeah, I'm a fat ass, I know. And I check my app. I didn't get charged for the burrito and got a $10 credit. All in all, I got paid $10 to eat two meals, while the delivery guy most likely got two strikes for two missing deliveries. Now I feel guilty that I may have been responsible for this guy losing his job in a tough economy. Am I the asshole? For clarification, the delivery app confirmed my delivery was incorrect after the order was dropped off, so I had no way of knowing if my burrito was actually coming or not.
Absolutely not the asshole.
Yeah, bro. If anything, that's just the delivery man's fault. The amount of times I'll watch like delivery dudes and excuse me, they'll either give me the wrong order or they'll like go to the house across the street and then not give a fuck and drive off. It's it's kind of crazy.
Mm.
First of all, there was no way you could have known that you weren't going to get your food. Second of all, there's no way you could have known that the food that was at your doorstep was not your food until you opened it, and by then they can't have it back anyway because that's just now they will like you're not supposed to get that food back at that point anyway if you open it.
Yeah.
Hmm. it's like part of me does feel a little bit bad for the driver because like you said, most drivers just kind of drop it off, don't give a shit. This one actively realized, okay, fucked up, going back, try to fix this the whole situation. Then I don't even know what's going on or like anything in the background, but kind of went the extra mile to try to fix it. Since again, most could just leave it and not care, and kind of just got hit in the face.
I
So
mean,
I don't.
yeah, he did try to fix it, but by the time he got back, this dude has already eaten the meal. Because again, he was expecting that this dude didn't care. So he explains he can't return it because he already ate it, assuming that this is just what he had to deal with. And then he immediately gets called a thief when, if it's anyone's fault for him having the wrong order, it is the driver. He's just immediately deflecting onto OP because he fucked up.
It's just like he saw the bag, he knew it was from the wrong place. He was pretty much confirmed that it was the incorrect order, and pretty much took it inside and just left it. I don't blame him for being hungry and just like eating it, but at the same time, part of me is like, you know, it's the bag from the wrong place. It ain't yours, and you had no confirmation you were gonna get your burrito. That's fair, but this just kind of reeks of you know it was the wrong thing to do, but you did it. Like even if someone else was involved with like it being the wrong thing, you still did it.
I mean, yeah, but what's he supposed to do? Miraculously find out who ordered this and then like hop in his car and deliver it to them?
You're definitely not that. Hold on. I never said you got to go the extra mile like that. Ain't nobody gonna give a shit. My whole thing is that you still did the wrong thing, knowing it was the wrong thing. That's pretty much my view on it.
That's pretty fair.
So down. I wouldn't say you're an asshole. I'd just say you did the wrong thing there. You know you did the wrong thing. So
Alright. But I'm gonna say not the asshole. Alex, are you saying asshole or not the asshole?
I'm gonna say not the asshole. Just you did something wrong. You knew what you did was wrong. That just
And then I think
that's
Jeremiah
it.
said not the asshole.
Uh huh.
Awesome. Yeah, Isaiah has been gone for a minute.
Man, it's probably fighting for his life out there. And
So
trenches got him swallowed.
so true. Oh, I forgot. Am I? Oh shit. Am I the asshole for telling a girl to stop wasting food? The flare says asshole. So let's
We're off to a good start
we're
already.
off to a great start. I, 21 female, who usually always sits with the same group of people in my university's dining area. There's this girl who I've talked to a few times, but I'm not really friends with. She's kind of quiet, but when she finally talks, she seems normal. I've sat across from her a few times, and I noticed how she was eating because it's weird to me. She eats maybe half her food. Keep in mind, you control the food amounts. It's cooked by the cafeteria staff buffet style. She could easily take less. She kind of plays with it with her fork when she's done, aka eating half of it sometimes left, sometimes less. I didn't say anything for a while, but a few weeks ago, I had to ask her why she only ate one half of her food. She seemed embarrassed, but answered she thought she was more hungry and laughed it off. Then I asked her why she made this mistake every time she ate, and she must have learned by now. She didn't really answer. I don't actually remember, but it wasn't actually an explanation, and left pretty quickly. She doesn't really show up that much anymore, but when she does, she still eats like this, and I couldn't hold it in anymore. I asked her once again. I also asked her if her parents ever told her not to play with her food. It was a genuine question. Some people are raised in households where manners aren't important, but obviously they are for most people. She got really mad at me and told me to stop commenting on her eating habits and that it was none of my business. I told her that it absolutely was, since she's sitting at her table and obviously wasting food. She told me to go fuck myself and left and threw out the rest of her food again. After she left, one of my friends told me to leave her alone as she seemed like she was having a hard time and maybe had some sort of issue with food. Yeah, obviously she has an issue with food. She keeps wasting it. She hasn't shown up again. I'm assuming she buys her own food now, which might teach her not to waste it, so that's good. The same friend who told me to leave her alone keeps pestering me to apologize to her, but I think she should apologize to me. She's unnecessarily rude when being asked the most basic and obvious questions, and also told me to go fuck myself. That's way more harsh than anything I've ever told her. Keep in mind, I care a lot about food waste in the environment. Am I the asshole for telling a girl to stop wasting food? Edit. Okay, I'm the asshole. Sorry, I'm not studying to be an eating disorder specialist. I looked up stuff about it and realizing I was way too harsh. I'll apologize next time I see her and try not to be so condescending, but you should all follow your own advice. If people genuinely don't know something, you should tell them nicely instead. And I realized I should have tried to educate her nicely about food waste and not at all commented on how she was eating.
Mm.
Yeah, I was.
Uh,
Oh, you go.
yeah, I just got one thing to say.
Uh, anyways,
It
yeah,
doesn't affect you.
I was
Taboo.
gonna suggest eating disorder when it brought up that she was repeatedly eating half and playing with it. I don't know which eating disorder, but it definitely does seem like a sign.
Either that or like major insecurity. That pretty much is like that should have been like something you noticed since you were paying attention to the way she ate.
Yeah, and like obviously confrontation did not make her comfortable, and you just kept like pressuring it on and getting more aggressive. I don't know, man. I agree with the flare. She is an asshole.
Yeah, gotta call this one the asshole. There's really no other way to put it.
What about you, Jeremiah?
Yeah, she's the asshole.
Uh, am I the asshole for asking my parents to hire a nanny for my younger sibling? Sometimes I got a lot of absences at school because I have to look after my sibling who's awake at night. I It had affected my school performance and now I'm taking remedials. Other times I had to absent because we have no gas to drive to school, which is far away, or they had errands to run. Now I have deadlines to do and I'm so stressed and afraid I might get dropped out because of my poor performance. We just had a fight today about how I complain behind their back when I feel like they're using me as a nanny. They always remind me that my problems at school are small compared to their problems. I know financial difficulty can bring out the worst in people, but they ask so many things when all I ask in return is a time where I can actually focus on schoolworks. I don't have any life outside my home or school. I should have the time, but my life is tiring. My stepdad threatened that he'll make sure he'd get a nanny, so he'll kick me out and make my youngest sibling forget about me. He still mocks me as ungrateful. My mother says I did wrong and I should apologize. I have been an out of school youth since the age of 15 to 19. I had special education to skip junior high school and is now 12th grade. I'm 21 now, but I could not be an independent for I'm a high school undergrad. I've had similar experience when I had my brother at 7. My mom and stepdad met when I was 14, had my youngest sibling at 19, and my twin has cerebral palsy, so I help her at school. Not the asshole. I need to meet that father in a back alley with a tire iron.
Uh, I would. Yeah, I. Mm, yeah, I'd say like at first it might have been a situation of like, yo, like you could help out, or like there has to be a balance. Like maybe you can talk to him, and then there was just like your financial, or like not even financial, educational problems are not as important as what's going on in this house. That's immediately just okay. No, like your parents are immediately in the problem, immediately the issue. They can't click that together or try to like figure out some way to make, no, yeah, that's, you're not the asshole for that one.
Yeah, no. Got to just beat that man into submission.
After
Uh,
the time, I'm back.
oh wow. We were just talking about you.
About?
Don't worry about that. Just know we were talking about you.
So what you're saying is check the stream right now and just rewind.
We were just saying you haven't been back for a minute.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like you
Uh.
weren't live on Twitter.
All right. You just missed this post, but we
Just
have
tell me the
already.
title and I'll pass verdict.
Am I the asshole for asking my parents to hire a nanny for my younger sibling?
Yes.
This man, does he know?
Does he know?
Does he know?
Yes, I do know. I know enough. And the answer is yes.
Read.
For
I'll
what?
sum it up.
For
Basic.
what?
Just read. Just read.
I'll give him the TLDR so we can keep it moving.
Yeah, that is very long and I am not reading.
Uh, OP has missed a lot of school for most of their life because they essentially take care of everyone at home. They have asked their parents, or they've talked to their parents about the issues, and their parents have said, well, you missing school is not important as our adult issues. And what is it? Yeah, your school stuff is not as important as our adult issues. And if we do get a nanny, or at least the step that specifically said if they get a nanny, they're gonna do it so that they can kick OP out and make the youngest sibling forget about him, and they call him ungrateful.
Bunch of white country rednecks or something?
Who
So
knows?
are they still in the right?
No comment.
Uh-huh. There you go.
No
Just had
comment.
had to get that out. Ooh. I was ready to I was ready for that one. All right.
No. It's all good. No comment.
No
Yeah,
comment.
I had
you
to
don't
get
have to
that
say
out.
anything else. Hold on,
Oh, I
anything
had to
else.
get. I had to get that one out. That felt good.
Am I the asshole for assuming I should get paid for my time when a friend asked for help? A few months ago, I picked up a few shifts in a local bar. It was just a casual, and it was just a casual as and when the thing for a bit of extra cash. The owner of the bar ended up leaving to pursue another career, and a very good friend of mine took over the bar. He said to me that he would no longer be able to give me any work as they would not be able to make ends meet by paying staff. So he and his family were going to run the place themselves. This was completely fine by me, as the job was only ever going to be a temporary fix, and I had since found a day job elsewhere anyway. I said to him that if he were ever stuck in the future, I'd be more than happy to help out. He thanked me, and that was that. I started going in just as a regular customer and loved that one of my oldest friends was running my local bar. Anyway, skip to last week, and friend asked me if I could come over and cover the bar for a few hours as he and his family had to attend a family emergency out of town, which of course I did. It was a busy Saturday night, and I was completely on my own with no help, but I didn't mind as I was just concerned about my friend's situation and wanted to help. A few hours turned into the entire evening, and I ended up being there around 7 hours with no break and didn't leave until 2 a.m. Now, here's the dilemma. This was never discussed prior to me starting the shift, but I assumed my friend would pay me for my time. I didn't ask for money when I left in the evening, as I could tell everyone was upset and exhausted when they returned, so I figured I would just go over later in the week to collect it. A few days went by, and there was no mention of pay for my friend, so yesterday I decided to text him to gently remind him, and he replied saying that he had assumed I was helping him out as a favor to a friend, and that he hadn't planned on paying me, saying that he had already explained to me that he wouldn't be able to pay extra staff. I feel that out of principle, I should insist on some form of payment. It was only ever a cash in hand job, and I don't slash didn't have a contract, but I also don't want to make it awkward between us and potentially fall out. So I'm stuck debating whether I should ask for the money or drop it and accept that I did the work as a favor. So am I the asshole for expecting payment in this situation? Edit, I'm not in the US and tipping isn't really a thing, so I don't receive any money in tips. Edit 2. I just wanted to make the point that yes, he could have closed up for the evening if he didn't want to pay someone, but the bar is something of a community hub in a quite remote area and is a lifeline for many in our community. So the decision to stay open and call me in was probably more informed by that reason rather than staying open purely to make money. I'm not gonna pursue it any further with him. I'd rather stay friends and chalk it down to experience. I love him dearly and he's not a bad person. I just needed to know outsiders' opinions for my own peace of mind, but I think I can rest easy that I wasn't completely out of line.
This. Mm, uh,
I mean, I can't really fault him.
Yeah, I was gonna say like he was a little bit of an asshole up until he mentioned that he ran the entire bar by himself for 7 hours. Then it kind of makes sense that like
He left at 2 a.m.
like
yeah
7 hours, 2 a.m. I don't even
Nobody.
think he was supposed to be there in the first place. And even then, it's like he did it just because he could. It's like I don't. I yeah, I can't fault OP for that. I know if I had to work 7 hours just cause to fill in a shift and not see anything, I would be more than fucking livid.
yeah
It's like I don't think he can. I don't think I can. Yeah, no, I don't think he's the asshole here at all. To be honest, the whole situation is well, obviously if you're gonna ask your friend to fucking cover up for 7 hours, like I'm going to give you money for it. 7 whole hours and you leave at 2 a.m. Definitely not just gonna fucking brush that off as like, oh yeah, you're just oh yeah, thanks for doing me a favor. A 7 hour fucking favor. So it's like, yes. That you gotta talk to him about that.
yeah
Like like you're doing the community a favor, but at the same time, it's 7 fucking hours. Exhausting too. It's like,
yeah.
come on, man.
I also think like on another layer, it kind of the way he says he had already explained that he wouldn't be able to afford to pay extra staff, and it's like you're telling me you've been friends with this man for a while. He's helping you out so you can like go attend family emergency stuff, and you don't consider him family, just extra staff because you're not like directly related to some extent. I don't know, man.
Hmm. Like even if it's not a lot, just like 7 hours with nothing, you gotta give him something for that. That's more than just a favor.
Right. But yeah, I'm gonna say not the asshole.
Yeah, yeah.
What about you guys, Isaiah and Jeremiah?
Not the
Truthfully,
asshole.
no.
Wait, repeat that, Isaiah. I can hear you over Jeremiah.
You said a pretty clean no.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, we should actually probably wrap this up. We've been at this for almost 3.5 hours.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
It
right.
has almost been 3.5 hours.
Time flies by. Let's look for a good one. Okay, wait a minute. I think this one is the closer.
What? I'm not looking right now.
Whoa.
What's the
Okay,
title?
yeah. Am I
I,
the asshole? My friend almost killed me in a car accident, then made me leave my job and make everyone there hate me.
I need to. This.
Yes.
Hey, fucking some of these titles is wild, dog. Like
Right?
this is this is some shit.
You find it a visual novel. Alright. For a bit of context, I was working at a tire shop at the time. I got my friend, let's call him Matt, a position there a few months prior. We became pretty close friends working together 6 days a week. At the tire shop, there's this older guy, let's call him Frank, who would act like a complete know it all asshole and above everyone else despite being in the same position. He would verbally harass everyone there, always shouting hateful speech. He will be relevant later on. One day at work, Matt and I were dismissed for our 1 hour lunch break at the same time. Matt and I had been discussing a local twisty road close to work which we wanted to go to. So on our break, Matt decided to drive his car there. At this point, it's worth mentioning his car was running semi slick tires and it was bucketing down in the rain. We started at the top of the road and we worked our way down. Matt hydroplaned at one point and I told him to ease off the throttle on the way back up. Matt took a corner way too fast and hydroplaned into a rock at 80 kilometers an hour. We hit the rock and spun around 3 times. I was knocked unconscious. When I woke, my door was completely open, my nose and mouth were bleeding, and I had incredible chest pains. An ambulance shortly came, and we were both taken to the hospital. I was declared unfit to work for a minimum 2 weeks, a problem considering I live out of home and have written bills to pay, etc. 2 weeks later, I returned to work for light duties. Frank wouldn't stop abusing me for not working as if I was fully fit and basically telling me I shouldn't be there if I couldn't work like everyone else. Matt was also giving me the cold shoulder, although at this point I hadn't done anything to at all to him, just checked how he was going. 2 days later, I'd had enough. I started looking for an employment opportunity elsewhere and found one who had hired me the same day as a backup for what was for what was shortly to follow. In Australia, we have really good workers' compensation schemes. So, to make up for my lost income, I launched a claim and told my boss at the tire shop that I had. He then proceeded to threaten me by basically saying Matt would lose his license and that we would have to give statements, etc., trying to guilt my way out of going ahead with it. I still didn't. My boss didn't like this and got the police to investigate the incident. A few weeks later, I got a payout from workers' compensation. However, by this point, Matt had unadded me everywhere. I soon found out he received a 6 month license suspension because of my boss. However, I couldn't clarify that it was my boss's fault, not mine, as he had already blocked me. Soon after, I'd heard rumors through the car community depicting me as an awful person for launching the claim and bringing police attention his way. However, it was my boss who tipped them off. Long story short, I've since started a much better job, and everyone at my old job hates me because of Matt's rumors. I can't help but feel guilty for what happened. Should I? No.
Bro, what the fuck?
Right?
I'm sorry. Look, let me just be completely honest. It did did the crash mess with your head? Like I'm getting a little bit out of pocket, but dude, you almost fucking died. Bleeding from your mouth and your nose, chest, basically I don't even know what injuries you had. But by the sound of it, it definitely wasn't good. 2 whole weeks you had to sit at home and recover, and then you return to light duties
And then get harassed for said light duties.
by the guy who fucked up in the first place. No, you aren't the asshole. You a victim. You is a victim.
How is he if how is he gonna hit that hydroplane? You told him, yo, might want to ease up. He goes, all right, swerves a turn. You're set spiraling. And I'm assuming the impact was on your side. Matt got the least of it. And is gonna and when you come back to work after 2 weeks and return slowly, coming in with like light stuff to try to like get you back into the flow of things, and he's gonna talk shit like he wasn't respond. I would actually cave his head in. No, you're not the asshole.
Oh no, he could have stood up for it. Yeah, I'm just kidding.
That boss also needs to like get some bad karma his way. He fucked over his workplace friend to try to avoid having to like pay out workman's comp.
That's pretty much, yeah. That's also that boss needs to go. A workman's comp. That's what makes you really just badmouth them everywhere.
Well, because like in order
Had his friends
to
turning against him to fucking like really.
in order for him to get the workman's comp, he was essentially like his boss was like, if you try to go for this workman's comp, it'll sabotage your friend's career. Meanwhile, it wouldn't really. All he had to do was pay him. Instead, he called the
That's
cops.
literally it.
Yeah, he called the cops to tip off the police about the incident and essentially blame his friend for it, which got him suspended and now makes him hate him. So like, those two are both to blame.
What the fuck? Like I'm just sitting here thinking like all you had to do was just pay the man. Were you that petty that you wanted to just ruin his image while you did it?
Yep.
Like literally, I don't think any police need to be involved in it. You just need to pay the man for the fact that he almost died 2 weeks later, still came in the work. Like everyone's the asshole in this, but you. You are the innocent one. I don't know how you feel guilty about this. Like
People that are victims just feel guilty for being. I don't know.
Me when my screen is so small. Thank you for the follow. I have to go back and check.
Wasn't even paying attention. Shit, really missed it. But yeah, basically, just no. You're not. You're not the victim here. I don't know how you would be. You're not. No.
he is
You are the victim. You're not
yeah,
the asshole. There we go.
Okay.
My brain was burnt out after like shouting like a madman. But yeah, just everyone else is the asshole here. Like you were trying to you were just trying to go somewhere else, man. Like you didn't even suggest like, oh yeah, we have to get police involved. Literally, he could have just paid you. Went, okay, I already know the situation, the crash and everything. Here, that's it. He did not need to get the cops involved. He did that just to spite you. That and he tried to guilt you prior. That man's just scum.
Yeah. Can't stand workplaces, man.
He couldn't even like clarify it with his friend. So now his boy is literally just going around thinking he's an asshole. They got him caught up when in reality it's the fucking boss in the back laughing like some fucking supervillain.
It's like comically evil.
Jesus. Man's almost died and he's going through guilt. Hey, believe me, you should be guilt free. What you did was survive.
Dang, why did you survive?
But yeah, the final verdict, not the asshole at all.
Not the asshole.
Yeah, that definitely not. No.
How are we debating this one?
It's not even a debate. We're just talking
Right.
about all the bullshit. Hey,
All
hey,
right.
we
And
ended with a not the asshole. There we go.
that was us reading and judging Goodbye the Asshole posts. Very interesting and funny experience. We're gonna call it here. You guys want to plug yourselves?
Sure,
Hmm.
you would be up first. Yo, trainer,
Oh, what?
Plug
you
Ah,
yourself.
you'd be up first.
plug yourself.
Oh, I'm first for once. Damn.
Yeah, order in chat.
They call me a point of.com. My boy Alex be running the site, you know what I'm saying? He got the connection from his uncle.
Okay, hold on.
But yeah, I made that one trainer 46, twitch.tv before, so it's that one trainer 46.
Oh, wait, I forgot the link.
That reminds me, I need to like help you set up a bot so you can actually give shout outs and everything.
Oh, you need a bot to that? That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that just makes it easier. Optional stuff.
It's a lot better than Twitch's variant, which basically puts like a cooldown on it and everything.
That is very dumb.
Yeah. Twitch. Gambler.
Renegade Gambler. Trying to set up OBS as we speak. So watch out for that.
And then there's me, Fan Dragon 13, FANTOM Dragon 13. If you ask why I don't use PH, because fuck you with a F. Yeah, D&D Monday and Wednesdays. Thursdays kind of just going on. Right now, it's just kind of whatever I'm feeling like at the moment. The ninth is probably when I'm gonna get back into eFeds or continue my eFed, going into the new game and everything. I might turn it to bi-weekly now because again, don't want to have everything be too repetitive. Basically, I want to try combining eFeds with weeks that I'm just being me, doing whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much everything.
All right. We'll see you guys later. Night.
That's it.
Yeah. Adios.